Hello and welcome to Independence, Missouri, right outside of Kansas City for this year's CMFL Championship game, the 2024 edition, where the Great Plains will meet the Gateway to determine who the winner will be out of the Great Plains Conference. The 10-1 Joplin Crusaders went through Oklahoma City last week to get to this moment, the defending champions of the CMFL. On the other sideline, the Missouri Cyclones, perfect so far this year out of the Gateway. Stephen Blackiston and Gary Joyce with you. We will throw it to a quick commercial break. Bring you kickoff when we return.
Semipro Saturdays brought to you in part by 950 Ways Graphics. Professional graphics for players, coaches, and teams. Trust the pros at 950 Ways Graphics and look them up on Facebook at 950 Ways Graphics.
Welcome back to Independence, Missouri. Like I mentioned, the 2024 CMFL Championship game, Stephen Blackiston, alongside the coach, Gary Joyce. Gary, should be another classic game as we wrap up the 2024 season of CMFL action.
Yeah, it's the temperature's hot today, and I expect the tempers to be hot today as well. The Cyclones really don't like Joplin, and Joplin really don't like the Cyclones, so it shapes up to be a fantastic championship game with a little more on the line than just a championship. You know, there's some of that angst boiling as well, so I expect a lot of action and a lot of guys getting laid out on this one, so it should be exciting.
Yeah, it should be an exciting one. Independence, Missouri, often known as the beginning of the Oregon Trail. Well, today the trail will end in Independence with these two teams in the Crusaders and Cyclones. As you see there out on the field, Cyclones going to be in the dark navy blue jerseys with white numerals. On the far sideline, the Crusaders in their new gray uniforms that they're debuting today in the title game with red numerals. While we have a moment, walk you through the captains for both sides. For the visiting Joplin Crusaders, captains Dougie Moore, Kendall Holmes, Charles West, and Tevin Gibson. For the home team, the Cyclones, be Brandon Patterson, Turon Thomas, Tyler Hatch, Trey Vaughn, and A.J. Christie are the captains, as Cyclones will kick off to get the game underway. We'll get to see Kendall Holmes, Gary, and the Crusaders offense first. Before we get this thing started, Kendall, coming into this year was not even supposed to be the starting quarterback for the Crusaders.
Yeah, and that was a battle he lost in preseason. There was an injury that allowed him to get the job back, and all he's done is become the league MVP and take his team back to the championship game. So I expect to see the Kendall magic that we always see. He may give up a sack for 15 yards. He may make a bad throw, but for every one of those he's going to have 2 or 3 plays that are just ridiculous and that should never happen and defy the physics of football. So that's the best thing about watching Joplin to me, is just watching Kendall play.
Yeah, and that was no more evident last week against OKC. Goes 99 yards to win the game. As it looks like we're all teed up, ready to go here in Independence as we await the opening kick. Tyler Hatch gets it into the air. and there will be no return. So the game starts with a touchback, and as we mentioned, as advertised, out trots this high-powered Crusaders offense that have the reigning offensive player of the year in Juwan Curry, receiver. He'll be wearing number 6 today, and, of course, the CMFL MVP this year, Kendall Holmes, as we previously mentioned.
Yeah, but here's the deal. They like to throw the ball. Those guys are electric, but Joplin's offensive line, old veteran group, big. They like to maul people, and then you want to talk about big. Look at Elliot Hawkins. Hawkins, Joplin's tailback, big body guy, right? He looks like a guard, but he moves like a tailback. And on a day like today, as hot as it is, guys like that are able to wear on some body. So I expect to see a lot of Hawkins today, early and often.
I was going to say Hawkins listed at 235 on the pounds department in the stat sheet. A little RPO action on first down, and met immediately is one of those captains, Charles West. He'll pick up maybe a yard or so on that RPO action. As we saw that last week with OKC, Gary, that they want to get that ball out to the outside and let their skill players make some quick plays.
Yeah, Kendall does a good job of making decisions quick. That's why they run the RPO game. We'll see quite a bit of it. What I like about their RPO game is there's nothing crazy, no crazy big shots downfield. It's quick and in space, and guys like Curry and Tyrone Johnson, those guys he has out at receiver, you're going to get the ball to them in space quick and let them make plays. So I like that Joplin style that they've been running this year offensively.
Second down. Holmes to the air, post route across the middle, complete out near midfield. Will go Juwan Curry, MVP to Offensive Player of the Year. First down.
Yeah, that was that was right there. They were looking to throw the bubble. Outside linebacker drove, so he got soft coverage. So Kendall just threw the deep slant to pick up the first down. So that's what we're talking about. Quick decision, puts them in a bind, and gives them the advantage that they want to have a good play right there. So that was a big throw catch right there. That was big.
And that shows the athleticism a little bit and the toughness of Holmes. He stands in there, takes a hit from the end as well as he slings that free. Fresh set of downs. Holmes going to look to throw again. Taking a shot down the field. Double coverage. That ball intercepted. Cyclones out of there with it. Going the other way. Out across midfield. Convoy. Ball will pop out, but back into the hands of the Cyclones as the interceptor there that time is Dimitri Beach. And a big momentum play early in this one, Gary.
Yeah, don't know why we took that why Joplin took that shot right there, right? They're moving the ball effectively. Obviously, there's double coverage there. Sometimes you just got to bite it and live to fight another day. It's okay if it was a one-man route, and that was the read that he needed to. I mean, he's a great athlete. Pull the ball, go make a play, live to hike the ball again, okay? He just force-fed that into double coverage, and if he's going to play like that, it's going to be a long day for him. But he usually gets over that. That's something he sees. He does often early, and I expect to see that get cleaned up pretty quick.
Quarterback for the Missouri Cyclones, number 12, Jacob Understall, gets us underway, and we'll get to it in a moment. But Missouri, the Cyclones on 1st and 10, just going to have a simple handoff, control the line of scrimmage. I was going to say, Gary, no slouch of their own. They have the offensive rookie of the year on this team. Receiver Chris Bradley wears number 80. You see there back into the huddle. So these guys do have weapons, but I would say you look at the scores they've had this season, it's really been the defense that's been the strength for them. Yeah,
they've been relying on their defense. They are ground and pound, play action, take a shot over the top type team. Their offensive line is, again, older, seasoned, big. Their backs are big. They're going to rely on the run, and they're going to take their shots late. So I expect to see that again today. I mean, often and early.
Undersall just gets out of there, and as if on cue, the offensive rookie of the year, Chris Bradley, with the completion.
Yeah, Bradley, obviously getting ready for this game, I went back and watched a lot of film to prepare because I hadn't had a chance to see him in person, and Bradley has a knack for catches that should not be made. I think that's why he caught so many eyes for Rookie of the Year offensively, because he just makes some crazy catches. Crazy. I mean, obviously he makes the easy ones, but I know the quarterback has a lot of faith in him, and he'll force one in because he believes he'll come up with it every time.
Yeah, that time he had a Crusader as a cape going across the middle of the offense, but it'll be the Cyclones knocking first on the red zone. Fresh set of downs on the Joplin 22. Just going to go back to the ground, and tailback there. Don't have the name on the roster, number 46, for the Cyclones. We'll get it right to the 20 and into the red zone.
But as you see right there, they're left tackle number 71, Marquise Hayes, big-bodied guy, okay? He's a mauler. Him against Braxton Reed from Joplin is going to be a good battle all night. Right there on that play, they ran behind Hayes, and he just bodied him up, and is what created the little bit that they did get. But I'm telling you, the Cyclones are okay with getting 2 or 3 yards on first down. They feel they're on schedule there, so you're going to see a lot of that stuff tonight.
Undersaw, quick throw out to the other side. Screen's trying to be set up. And all that fighting for about a yard or two. I believe that's Dominique Atkins on the reception. He fights forward for 2 hard-earned yards.
Yeah, we've talked a lot of offense here, back and forth, because there's been a lot of it, talking with the MVP and Kendall, and then talking about Cyclones offense here. But Joplin's defense, very, very, very athletic. Up front and in the back end. They don't. If you look out there, look at them defensively, they don't have any big bodies. They're all like linebacker type guys that fly around. They cause a lot of problems with their speed. And as you've seen right there on that little bubble, they're able to rally and get that down quick just due to their athleticism.
As we approach 10.5 minutes in the first. Cyclones back to the air, pressure immediately. Understall able to break through the first wave, but he'll be brought down pretty much at the line of scrimmage. It'll be the first 4th down of the ball game.
Yeah, Joplin dialed up a little pressure there and was able to get to him. Now this right here could be the difference in this game. Joplin does not have a kicker. I was watching the Cyclones kicker before the game. He was consistent from 45 out. So kicking a field goal, kicking extra points, things like that. Obviously a big advantage for the Cyclones here, and they get an opportunity to possibly walk away with points here as opposed to being forced to go for it on 4th and 8. So this could be a big difference in the game.
Yeah, potentially points off turnovers could be critical in this title game. About a 37-yarder for the Cyclones. Snap, kick, ball is up.
And good.
And
Got
good.
It. Yeah.
Through the uprights for the first points of the day is the man who started us off, Tyler Hatch. Puts 3 on the board. Cyclones lead early, 3-0. We'll be back after these messages.
Nestled in the heart of Baxter Springs, Missouri, the Little Brick Inn stands as a testament to local charm and genuine hospitality. As a locally owned establishment, we take pride in offering a unique and cozy retreat for our guests. To reserve your room, visit littlebrickinn.com.
Well, welcome back. As Crusaders going to have the ball for the second time after this kick. Points off turnovers. We'll see as this game goes along, Gary, if that's going to be a trend in this one. You know, so far, so good for the Missouri Cyclones. They've converted on every possession they've had.
Right, absolutely. And if this one can stay out of the end zone and Curry gets a chance to return it, you could see some magic from Joplin right here.
A little pooch kick. That one going to be handled at about the 30-yard line by Devin Harris. Harris trying to find a crease, can't, and Joplin will take over at about their own 35-yard line. And out will trot Kendall Holmes in the offense for a second go at it. And we'll see if Joplin makes any adjustments from the turnover off that first possession of the ballgame. And like you mentioned, Gary, at the beginning of this broadcast, these are two teams that have a little familiar interest. Last year, played in the semifinals. Joplin beating the Cyclones to eventually go on to win the title in 2023.
Yeah, they played twice last year, and Joplin got them both times. And the Cyclones, up until last year, have kind of ran the CMFL, so they did not help their relationship any, needless to say. Cyclones didn't take very well to that, like getting beat twice. So
certainly, first down just on the ground with Elliott Hawkins. See maybe if trying to go maybe a little conservative here after the interception and get some feet back under the offense.
I've slowed it down just a bit, and just again, Elliott is going to go forward, and if he falls forward, he's going to get positive yards. So I like the idea. Again, talking about a lot about offense, the Cyclones defense has carried them this year. They've won a lot of 14-6 ball games, and that's because their defense has been able to slow people down and rally to the football. So,
well, on display there, right into the football. We had mentioned, like I said, the defense, the strength of the units for the Cyclones on the tackle that time is actually the 2024 Defensive Player of the Year in the CMFL, Colin Thomas, number 31 there on your screen. They also have the Rookie of the Year on the defensive side of the ball in Jalen Cowley, wears 23 in Navy today as well.
Yeah, they're, again, just much like Joplin, they're very athletic, but they're much bigger up front. Their front seven is much bigger than Joplin's. Not as athletic, but a lot bigger, that's for sure, but still effective.
Cyclones rush 4. Holmes going to dance out of the pocket, be close to the first down. His helmet comes off, and looks like it'll be enough yardage for a first down. There's some extracurriculars after the tackle.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that not liking each other on display there. We're going to see a lot of that tonight. Hopefully the ref crew does a good job of keeping it under control, because if not, it could get ugly quick. But
I was going to say, you don't want to see that, especially in a title game as well.
Absolutely, yeah. As officials here need to respot the ball here, need to move it to the hash before we can snap it. But yeah, I mean, I think ultimately it won't impact the game. I think both these teams are classy enough organizations and been around long enough that it won't get to that point. I sure hope so anyway. But they also don't like each other a lot, so you never know, and that's the case.
Holmes back to the air, wobbler, complete, and knocked out of bounds will be Tyrone Johnson.
And we got a flag in the area of a hold here.
Yeah, this one might be coming back, and I believe it will as you go ahead and see the Cyclones backing them up. And so far, the defense for the Clones has been doing their end of the work.
Yeah, I mean, to start the drive off, well, I mean, Joplin started the first drive off with some success, and then he threw a unnecessary pass into double coverage. Started this drive off okay, and now they got a penalty. Here's the deal, though. I've seen it myself. Kendall, it'll be 3rd and 26, and he'll do some magic trick over the back, behind the back pass, and he'll get a first down or something. So don't let a long down and distance deter you with Kendall. He's able to pull something off.
Kendall going to go back to the air, across the middle of the field. Initial contact and completion. That's Charles West on the tackle for the Cyclones. D. Reese able to get in for the tackle, and basically the ball's back to where this set of downs start.
Yeah, basically an incomplete pass on first down now, so it's 2nd and 10, and they're okay. They're not behind the sticks terribly now, so I could see some opportunity here. Also, if you notice, Cyclones, I talked about really big up front, but they're doing a great job of rotating some guys in, so you're going to see a lot of different guys in there for the Cyclones on a day like today that's hot. You're going to have to do that.
Yeah, kickoff round about 90, 91 degrees. Feels like 95 down there on the turf. Probably even hotter, actually, on this brand-new turf at Truman High School. Holmes surveying. Doesn't like what he sees. Going to take off, and there's 3 Cyclones there to meet him at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 3rd and 10.
Yeah, and that's an example of what he should have done on that interception, right? Live to fight another day. Okay, you can see here on the replay, guys are covered up, so he just works down. He maybe can run it, maybe not, but he doesn't hurt his team by getting tackled at the line of scrimmage, and they're snapping it again. There's no harm, no foul, so we're in good. They're in good shape, so ain't no big deal. That was a smart decision on his behalf there.
Yeah, credit the coverage sack to the Cyclones defense. 3rd and 10. The Cyclone fans that have made the journey trying to make some noise here at Truman High School. Holmes surveying, evades the pocket, but will not pick up the first down. He'll be dropped right at midfield by who else? Defensive Player of the Year, Colin Thomas. Will make a decision for that coaching staff on the far sideline.
Yeah. knowing Stam Surges at the 50, needing 5 yards, probably going to go for it. That's just kind of their MO. I would be shocked if I seen anything other than them going for it at this point. They have a lot of faith in their defense as well, and I think based off the lack of production from the Cyclones offense, maybe leading up to this, why not go for it here on 4th down? Maybe, it's a big break if you get it. You keep a drive alive that you need. So I would agree with this call to go for it here if I have Kendall Holmes for sure.
We approach nearing 6 minutes, 4th and 6. Holmes will survey, quick hitter, complete, but going to be short of the first down by about a yard, and it'll be a turnover on downs as the Cyclones have pitched a shutout to the first 2 possessions.
Yeah, I don't understand that right there. They're obviously running comebacks at the sticks. The receiver, you got to run a route to the first down if you expect to get the first down. If you run it short, you're not going to get it. It's a good ball from Holmes, but great pressure from the Cyclones defense. Again, that whole drive on Kendall, he wasn't comfortable at any time during that drive. So the Cyclones defense front 7 did a great job of getting after it. But again, we go back very first play of that drive, they hand it to Hawkins. He gets 6 yards. We don't go back to the run. I don't understand that as a coach. I don't know why we do that, but I'm not. Hey, that's why I'm up here.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, so
you can look down and make yeah. We'll say while we have a moment, make sure to follow the Southern Sports Network on Facebook, Instagram, X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and TikTok for scores, standings, and great exclusive content each and every week, as well as the Semi-Pro Saturday channel on Facebook. Great content there. Is first down run for the Cyclones will be a yard pickup, and that would, I would say, be a big difference so far, Gary, between the 2 rushing attacks. Hawkins able to get chunks of yards the few times we've seen him, while through this second possession in the first brief one that the Cyclones had, not a lot on the ground so far.
No, they're getting 1 and 2, while Joplin seems to be getting 5 and 6. But the difference is the Cyclones produce points and Joplin hasn't. So doesn't make a lot of sense if you look at it that way. But again, I understand Joplin's. I mean, you're a dance with the girl that brought you. Okay, and that's what got them here, and so they're going to stay with it, and I get it. Sometimes, though, I just would like to see guys rely on the run a little bit more.
Undersaw, surveying, dumps it off, complete. Oh, nope, not quite. Nearly a completion for Dion Scott. Had it in the body, but good coverage tackle that time from the Crusaders. I believe that's Quinnell Johnson in on that tackle.
Yeah, you see right here on the replay, he did a great job of driving on it to break it up when the ball got in. So that was a great defensive play, working through the ball the way it's supposed to be played. It wasn't too early, no defensive pass interference or anything like that. It's just a good defensive play right there.
I will say also for Dion Scott, one of those things, you see a lot of receivers, they get to the end of that route, they just sit. Did come back, try and help his quarterback a little bit in that situation, just couldn't come down with the ball, but we'll bring up a 3rd and long for the Cyclones. Quick hitter. This time they do get it to Scott. He'll be short of the first down, but into Crusaders territory at the Joplin 46, and brings up a manageable 4th down. But we've talked about the strength of the of the Cyclones is the defense, so you might punt and just play defense.
Yeah, play field position. This is a tough one right here. Tough call. 4th and 3. Your run game hasn't just been killing it. But you're right here at that midfield area. It's always tough as a coach in this area of the field, what you want to do. I went for it here just as much as I punted it, so I don't know if there is a right answer. I guess it's just what you feel like your team can do at that point in the game. And I wouldn't be surprised here for a hard count and a timeout or something like that, just to try to get the free 5 and then roll out the punting team.
And I believe Gary Joyce is in. They're going to take the.
They got illegal participation.
Yeah, too much. I was going to say I thought that was what they were going to do. I thought they were going to take the hard count, but no, they have the illegal sub. So this makes the decision pretty easy for Missouri. They'll send out Tyler Hatch, who's really been the player of the game, I guess, so far. Has the only points into the punt pattern.
Yeah, back them up 5 there. And let it go. Yeah, obviously this changes the situation. You're obviously going to punt now. But if you are a real fan of semi-pro football, special teams is always a crapshoot. You really never know what's going to happen on a special teams play. It's something that doesn't get worked on a lot in practice. It's something that gets overlooked a lot, as you see guys running on late, stuff like that. So you just never know what's going to happen. Literally never know.
Oh, good snap. Spiral of a punt. Going to hit at the 14 and skips into the end zone. I think, to your point, Gary, we were talking about this before we went on air. This is new turf here at Truman High School, and you were mentioning it might need to have been raked. Some of the pellets might be on top.
Yeah.
Allowed that ball to skip over into the end zone.
Yeah. I went out there and walked around on the field before the game to talk to some of the guys and coaches and stuff and just kind of see how everybody felt about it. And first of all, beautiful facility here at Truman. And this turf here is brand new. The All-Star game they played earlier today at 1 o'clock was the first action on the field, if you will. And it's at that stage where it needs to be raked and all the little black pellets are sitting on top. It's going to be a little slick out there. And you've seen as that ball kind of hit it, kind of slid a little bit more than normal. But oddly, as we were talking, I kind of said I thought we would see some players sliding around a little bit more than we have. So that's good. The surface is holding up better than I thought it would, which is awesome because it's a beautiful facility. So
certainly, Joplin will have the ball at their own 25. Well, RPO works wonders as enough yardage for a first down and way more. Charles West scampers out as Kendall Holmes pulled that one out of Hawkins' belly at the absolute last second.
Yeah, there's that RPO stuff right there. You watch here on the replay. Kendall, playing with fire, and then does a good job of getting it out there and making something that's getting the ball out to their guys in space and letting things happen is what they are good at doing. And that right there was another example of that. The top receiver up there, I don't know if that was Tyrone Johnson or who it was, but I believe would have been a better play if we would have got a block. But I think he thought he was going to get handed off, so he wanted to watch instead of block. So still a great guy, great game.
Well, Hawkins going to get his number called. He's met in the backfield immediately. Looks like the person who initiates the contact, Maurice Prophet, gets in there. Big number 50, the D tackle, says, all right, Mr. Hawkins, I'll meet you in the hole.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great play. Great job getting off the offensive lineman, extending his arms and getting the play there. That was fantastic.
I was going to say, so far in the CMFL season, there's not a lot of people who can go toe-to-toe Elliot Hawkins in the hole.
No, but you got to have – it took a D lineman to do it.
Yeah.
You're not going to see a lot of linebackers square him up, that's for sure. So I went with the D in instead. But whatever it takes to tackle his big butt. I don't want to do it late in the game, I'll tell you that much.
No, sir. Holmes surveys, thrown out in space. Big collision, but complete. That's Terriel Johnson. He'll get it across into Cyclone territory. And, again, another manageable third down for the crew.
Yeah, so I've noticed here Joplin's made a substitution on the O-line at right tackle and put in Donovan Woods, 56. We talked a little bit about him last week being a lot longer, taller, athletic tackle, and he did a great job coming in and blocking Royal Andrews from Wichita. And it looks like the Cyclones have put in an athletic DN out there, and so they kind of made that change to match him up with Woods out there playing tackle. And first couple plays, he's done a great job. That's kind of his MO, is kind of match up against those speed guys.
That's been the chess match so far. That one nearly intercepted and is! What a play from the Cyclones!
Holy cow, that was fantastic.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Trayvon flying in out of the air on the tip drill.
Unbelievable. Here it is on the replay. I don't even know if I can talk through this. I don't even know. He just made it happen. Ball's put in the air, and wow, he jumped almost 5 yards in the air to get that ball. That's a big time play. At a big time in the game too. Joplin was starting to move some clock and move the ball a little bit, and kind of felt like they were starting to get some momentum offensively. And the Cyclones just took it away right there. It just ended it.
Yeah, put the final book and chapter on that drive. That's been, like you said, the MO of Joplin so far. They get to about the 45 of the Cyclones, and that's as far as it'll go.
Yeah, I don't know if they're pressing too hard, trying to do too much, or I don't know. I don't know how they're feeling about this game coming in. I don't know if they're too worried about the personal issues between the two and not just the championship game or what. I don't know, but I expect them to settle down, though, and kind of get going. So
that's Brian Owens on the carry, his first of the game. He'll stumble forward for a yard as we go under 2 minutes in the first quarter. Our score, again, 3-0. A field goal, 37-yarder early in this game from Tyler Hatch off the first interception of Kendall Holmes. This is the second, and Cyclones trying to go 2 for 2 on points off turnover opportunities. 2nd and 9. Cyclones looking to the air, taking a shot downfield, complete across the middle, lofted up there. That time, I believe, 85. Rashad Lewis went up, climbed the ladder to pull that one out of the sky.
Yeah, kind of I'm not sure who ran the wrong route. You end up with 2 receivers in the same spot, but they threw it up. He threw it up, hoped one of them would get it, and it happened. And, again, that's a little bit more of that kind of their style. They're going to run the ball, take a shot over the top, and that's just kind of like what they did right there. And I expect to see that from the Cyclones the rest of the night. Some fashion or type of game of run, throw. They're not super pass happy. When they do, they want to take shots.
Yeah, hard to miss Rashad out there with the orange cleats and orange gloves. That'll be 5 free ones for the Cyclones as Crusaders reeling a little bit these last couple of plays.
Yeah, I think if I'm coaching Joplin, I am waiting for a quarter. I'm not wanting to burn a timeout, but at quarter break, where I'm pulling everybody up and we're going to have a little chat and just kind of get everybody relaxed and focused back on the task at hand, which is just playing the next play better than we did the one before. Because it seems like they're just all trying to win the game in one play right now.
Yeah, and there's a little bit more than just a title on the line for Joplin. This would be they come into today with 299 wins all time. Swung out. Oh, nice little sidestep there from Owens, able to extend the play a little bit and try and get back to the original line of scrimmage. But I was going to say 299 all-time wins for the Joplin Crusaders, trying to get win 300 today, as well as a 13th title, one of the oldest teams in semi-professional football, going back all the way to the late 90s.
Here, you want to know a little trivia for you? I actually won a championship with Joplin Crusaders as a player back in the era in which Charlie Hudson owned the team anyway, a long time ago. And it was a great time, believe it or not. So looks like they're taking a quarter there. Yeah,
and that's, I think, probably the smart thing to do for the Cyclones. Don't give the Crusaders any extra time. We'll take the quarter with them as well. After one, your score 3-0. The Missouri Cyclones cling to a lead.
Since 1941, the Dickey's family has been smoking the very best quality meats, low and slow, for 14 hours every day. It's how Mr. Dickey did it, and it's how we still do it in every Dickey's restaurant across America. Lunchtime, dinner time, anytime. Eat in, pick up, or heck, we'll even deliver to you. There is no shortcut to what we do. Come in and see us or visit Dickeys.com. Legit Texas barbecue.
Welcome to Independence, Missouri. Truman High School, the host of the 2024 edition of the CMFL title game. As the Cyclones have the ball and the lead to get the second frame underway, they'll have a 2nd and 4 when we resume action, as they are knocking on the door of the red zone for the second time. The first time, of course, when they got the 3 points at the beginning of this ball game. Stephen Blackston, the coach Gary Joyce alongside. And it looks like, Gary, to start this quarter, we're going to see Cyclones potentially in some shotgun. Haven't seen that yet in the ballgame.
Got some two-back going on. Maybe wanting to commit a little more to the run. We'll see how that looks. A little handoff right there. Didn't get a whole lot, but usually when you bring that second back in, you're looking to run the ball. The problem is you add a back, the defense adds somebody as well.
In the box.
So, you got to be careful there. It's not addition by subtraction. It doesn't work out that way. So, but we'll see. We'll see what they want to do.
It'll be 3rd and about 6 or 7.
This would be back to the exact same spot he kicked the field goal from last time at 37 yards. So if they don't get anything, we know he can kick it from here. So
we shall see. Understall. We'll look to the air. Little out. And we'll need to see a ruling. Looks like be quite a catch if Bradley's able to haul that one in. Looked like it juggled around there.
We got the officials deciding kind of what they want to do here. I don't know if you can see
take
on the
a look
replay
at it.
very good. Fairly sure the ball was on the ground.
We'll see. No, looks like going to be 4th down, incomplete pass.
Yeah, it's the right call. I'm not quite sure what that first official was looking at there. I don't know, because the Cyclones receiver had a chance to catch it, and then the Joplin defender had a chance to catch it before it hit the ground. So I don't know what you're looking at there, buddy. But oh well, here we go. Let's see if we can get another field goal in.
This one going to be a little farther. This one a 47-yarder.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I watched Canadian League football the other night and forgot about the extra 10 yards out here. So 47, yeah, but this is about the top end of his distance earlier, and what I heard him tell his coach he was comfortable from. So we'll be interested to see what this looks like here.
Well, Hatch has the steps all lined up. Waiting on the snap. Good snap. Kick is up. And going to be short. And no return as the returner there for Joplin stepped out the back of the end zone. Just a touchback. And the Crusaders will get the ball at their own 25. So no harm, no foul. That possession off of the Holmes interception. While we have a moment, if you want to go back and watch the 2024 CMFL title game or many other Southern Sports Network broadcasts, 100+ more, you can watch them on your smartphone or big screen TV at the house. Search Southern Sports Network on Android, iOS, Roku, or Amazon Fire Stick. So that way you don't miss any of the action. Of course, we have high school football coming up soon as there's a flag on the play, as well as the Victory Bowl. We'll talk more about that later on, but plenty of football getting ready to gear up all across the Midwest of the United States, Gary.
Absolutely, yeah. I coach high school football, and we open camp August 12th, so I got another week off-ish. It's coach's work week, and then we start, so it's happening. I don't know what happened out here. We had two of the Cyclone coaches on the field. The white hat, it appeared through a flag at one of the coaches, so I don't know if it was an unsportsmanlike on a coach. We'll get a ruling here.
Oh, sideline warning.
Sideline warning.
Kind of looked like a bird trying to take off there.
It did, but it looks like they still penalized them. So it must not have been a warning. It must have been a penalty.
I was going to say, normally they give you the warning first.
Yeah, he removed the warning apparently. So
that was the warning.
Yeah, the warning is we're going to give you 15 yards.
Yeah. Well, going to be 1st and 10. Cyclones might have had an extra man in the field, but Kendall Holmes going to take off and do Houdini down his own sideline to pick up the first down. As a little bit of weirdness going on in these last couple of plays. You see the Cyclone getting off late. Guess he was able to get off, but Holmes looks like just a quarterback run the entire way.
Yeah. Go back to the official. The official missed the extra guy, the extra Cyclone, because he himself was running to get in position due to talking to the other officials off the penalty from the coach. So anyway, they got a little lost themselves, so it caused some a little bit of dysfunction. But Joplin turned it into a positive play and a first down. So
that's the beauty of Semipro.
That's right. Sometimes if it's broke, it works.
It's the only place you could say that. But 1st and 10, Holmes, quick hitter, lobs that out there. Oh, and a poor job of tackling that time by number 33, David Jenkins. Jenkins had Dejon Curry on a tee, on a platter, ready for Thanksgiving dinner there to take him down, but good job from Curry. Olazy gets something out of it.
Yeah, that kid's special. I've seen him in a couple of games really kind of take over and do some things. So Joplin kind of going with the hurry up.
And Hawkins hog-tied right at about the line of scrimmage, 3rd and medium.
Yeah. This is another one of those situations where I think, some of that RPO game they've been working on may be a good time to do it. But we'll see what Sam Sturgis dials up. Looks like Joplin made a change on the O-line. That caused the Cyclones to make a change on the D-line. And so maybe they're expecting a couple big guys to get after it with those changes were made. So let's see here. I'd love to see a Elliott Hawkins 6-yard run for a first down right here, but I don't know if that's going to happen. The Cyclones front seven's pretty nasty.
Yeah, Hawkins has been corralled so far in this game. Complete. Holmes to Curry. Couple of men miss.
Curry
looking for the end zone. Touchdown, Joplin.
That's example of what I was talking about with Curry's magic. You put him with Kendall.
Good things happen.
Yeah. I mean, that, for all relative purposes, that should have been a 8-yard gain, but it wasn't. And he made a bunch of people miss and look real dumb and entertaining to watch. Now we got a flag on the play, probably some sort of excessive celebration or something, I would assume. But whatever it was, that was a fantastic play by Curry. And Holmes loves the fact that he can throw it, 10 yards down the line and get a 30-yard touchdown out of it, so or more. They're out here at the 40. So.
I was going to say, and again on that one, Devon Jenkins was the recipient on that play. He was the one trying to pop the ball out of Curry as they were going into the end zone. I think as a coach, would you have preferred just trying to get him down to the ground in that situation, so trying to pop something out?
Yeah, after he got carried about 5 yards, let's go ahead and get him down, There comes a time and a place to work on that stuff and try that, but giving up a touchdown in lieu of trying to after I try 2 or 3 times and it ain't going nowhere, if I try 5 more times, it's probably still not going to go anywhere. So probably – sorry, I was trying to get the call from this official here.
Offset.
But you got to really focus with these officials. So anyway, touchdown stands, offsetting penalties there on both teams. So
the trial be where it normally is.
Yeah. So here we go. All that for nothing. We got to talk a little bit more about whatever.
Maybe just trying to figure out where they're going to eat after the game.
Yeah, going for 2, like I mentioned earlier, right? No kicker for Joplin, so they're forced to do this, and things like this can haunt you down the road if you don't have a great 2-point playbook.
They certainly can limit you here. Keeps us a field goal game if Cyclones can stand tall. They can't. What a beautiful throw. Even better catch. Very rarely I feel like that end zone fade works, but Crusaders draw it up here, make it an 8-3 ball game. We'll take a quick break from Independence, Missouri for this year's CMFL title game. We'll return after these messages. Welcome back after the Crusader touchdown. Cyclones are going to have a chance to answer. Score 8-3 as the ball sails back into the air. And we're back underway here in Independence, Missouri. Full head of steam that time for the Cyclones returner, but nothing more than normal field position. I know, you go back, you watch the film. I know from my sake of the two Crusader games I've seen this year, special teams, particularly kickoff returns, have been a little bit of a bugaboo for the Crusaders. They've given up a couple of those this year, so that might be something as we go along in this game tonight, Gary, to keep an eye on.
Yeah, their special teams has not been fantastic.
Special?
Yeah, from the defense side of things. Now, they do a great job of returning themselves, punt returns, kickoff returns. I've seen Curry return a couple of touchdowns on kickoffs, but just they're not great on stopping that type of stuff either. So, we could see a return happen on them just as well as they could return one on somebody else, so would not surprise me at all. So,
Cyclones ready to get back underway. Understall going to operate from the pistol. Evades the pocket, keeps his eyes downfield, and complete. That one to Lewis. And I think, if you're the Cyclones at this point in the game, you do obviously need to get another score on the board, but you just want positive plays. Get a couple of medium gain plays, keep the drive alive, keep it moving, keep the clock rolling.
Yeah, this is where they want to have a drive like they typically do, where they're, the old proverbial 3 yards in a cloud of dust drive where we're smash mouth and then a little rollout, for 5 yards here or there, dink and dunk, picking up first downs, 3rd and 3s, being in, that type of situation, and eat up some clock with the drive and get on the board close to the end of half and going at halftime with the momentum is what if I'm them, I'm wanting to do, because I don't think they're not a quick score offense.
Understall, across the middle of the field, complete. And again, that's Offensive Rookie of the Year, Chris Bradley, gets himself to the marker and should be enough for a first down. And I like there from Bradley, a very smart IQ play there. Don't take the hit. You catch it. You just fall down to the ground.
You see on the replay here, T.J. Austin for Joplin, 32 there, is head hunting. So, smart decision to go ahead and get down on that one, or he may have went down and stayed down if not. So, good decision. Like you said, great decision on his part.
It's very Tyler Lockett-esque. That's I know one of the things he likes to do.
Decision. Business decision there.
Your best skill is being on the field for your team at that
correct.
point. Well, here's the first handoff of the play, or of the drive, and a big hole that time for the Cyclones as Trevin Minor will drive through in near midfield. As like you're talking about, those big hog mollies up front starting to open some holes for the Cyclones.
Yeah, they found a crease. They got in that little bunch formation and motioned a guy out, kind of gave some eye candy, got Joplin thinking about what was going on, caused some linebackers to get out of position, and then they're able to gash them in the run game a little bit. So I do like that. This approach here. I like this little formation variant they're doing. Joplin looks like they're struggling to adjust a little bit to it. They're not sure how they want to line up. So I like it.
Well, fresh set of downs as the drive moves on. A little pitch out. Trying to get out in space, and another positive run. Flag will come in, but I was going to mention on that previous play, Gary, as a coach yourself, I'm sure you appreciate when you see a lineman get to that second level and get a hat on a linebacker in those situations.
Yeah, and as an offensive line coach, that is what we shoot for, right? That's like complete nirvana. My offensive line, high school kids, if we get to a second level, it's like celebrated. So it's great, and that's what happened when they had the success, but right there, you see what happens when they get lazy and they get a holding call. So holding calls happen, in my opinion, one time and one time only, and that's just when they're being lazy. Now, I get it. That guy probably works at a factory Monday through Friday, and he's probably,
gassed.
33 years old and 50 pounds overweight, and it's hot. So he probably did get a little lazy, but still got to move your feet a little bit there better, bud, and he'll be in good shape. But penalties can hurt you quick.
They certainly can. They'll add up in a hurry, especially on an offense like this. Is Understall play actions to the wrong side, across the middle, and that one falls to the turf. Dominique Atkins, the intended receiver, and he got pinballed by a couple of Crusaders across the middle.
Yeah, that was one that you better go ahead and catch because you're going to get hit anyway. So unfortunately, he wasn't able to come down with it, but he still got bounced around a few times there in the hole. I mean, yeah, that was a tough one.
Yeah,
but from the quarterback perspective, I mean, that's the only place he could have put it. If he would have threw it a little more flatter on the line, it probably would have got picked. So he threw it the only place this guy could get it. And that's what happened there. So it happens.
I was going to say, brings it 2nd and 20. Cyclones going to stay in the pistol. Understall mails that one. Picked off Dougie Moore. He'll walk it into the end zone for the second score of the night for the Crusaders. Pardon me, no, that's number 7, Daquan Johnson on the interception. Want to make sure we give him his flowers in this title game, as that is a terrible throw there from Undersall.
Yeah, I mean, that right up there with Kendall's interception, Holmes' interception. I mean, I don't know, maybe there was a miscommunication. I know
he was expecting maybe that receiver to come back to him. Yeah,
and he took a hit there on that throw too, so I don't know if that maybe took some steam off the ball. Either way, it was not pretty, and Joplin's corner there, he played it well. And, man, you pick a ball off like that on a sideline on like a comeback route, it's you in a lot of green grass. I mean, you're usually going to score on those, and, of course, he made sure he did. So that could cause this thing to get a little crazy here quick, like as we talked before. The Cyclones offense isn't designed to score quick and in bunches, and as each of these scores that Joplin scores, it just hurts the Cyclones a little bit more offensively.
You have to turn the wick up just a little bit more. Holmes, another goal line fade. That one intercepted. That one won't count for anything, as it's an empty try or score. 14-3 with 9:30 to go in the half. Cyclones have to find an answer when we return.
Semipro Saturdays brought to you in part by 950 Ways Graphics. Professional graphics for players, coaches, and teams. Trust the pros at 950 Ways Graphics and look them up on Facebook at 950 Ways Graphics.
Well, welcome back. After the pick six, Cyclones going to get the ball back, as it's been all Crusaders since that opening field goal off the Kendall Holmes turnover. That one going to go out of bounds for a procedure play, and some good opening field position for the Cyclones to try and wash the taste out of the mouth of the pick six last time.
Yeah, and I don't know that it's.
We take another look at it.
Yeah, here definitely some miscommunication. Yeah, he's thinking comeback, receivers thinking post, and
6 points, just not for the right team.
Yeah, DB was thinking interception. So, but it may be too early for a comment like this, but I kind of feel in the flow and the momentum of the game is almost a must-score situation for the Cyclones at this point, because.
You just have to maintain pace.
Yeah, as we said, a couple times, they don't score in bunches or score quickly, and so they have to, make it happen. We got a little.
Yeah, I was going to say, not to interrupt you, Gary, but I think the officials don't quite know the spot for illegal procedure.
Yeah, it's.
That's one of the things I was going to say. That's the NFL is the 40, college, high school, different rule. These are high school officials, so that is going to be one of those things that you run into if you're trying to make it complicated for them.
Absolutely, I've been unfortunate enough to own a league at one point, and we played straight high school rules. Other than a 15-minute quarter, but timing rules were the same as high school.
Yeah.
Why? Because we hired high school officials. So if you're asking a high school official to do something that he's not certified to do or does on a regular basis, you're going to get crappy officiating, and people lose their mind about it. It's like, well, that guy doesn't do this.
Yeah,
so,
you're not putting him in a situation to be successful.
Yeah. So I never understood it. I still don't understand it, but that's what happens. So you get stuff like that. But decent little run there off the edge. Start the drive.
Yeah, pitch there to Owens. He'll get back a yard or so of an injury timeout. And
looks like it's Owens there. It's the one being up.
I believe Dion Scott, number 1's the one going to hobble off.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, as I think he actually got run over by Owens there. He was trying to set the block there as a receiver, and I think he might have got rolled up a little bit.
What? These officials are having a real hard time on where to spot the ball. I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say it was a pitch out to the side, so that should be at the near hash mark here. But, hey, you know what? We'll play on as the clock is at 9:13. Understall. Blitz might come off the edge. They do. That ball swatted out of the air. And
that's a
incomplete.
Great job by quarterback recognizing what's happening. He made some calls to his offensive line, which alerted them to bump a little bit, and then he just tried to replace the blitzing corner with the ball, which is what you got to do. Unfortunately, with so many guys coming off the edge there, some of them were able to get their hand up and knock it down. But the idea of the play, the execution of the play was really good as far as up front goes. They obviously brought more than they could block, but did a good job there picking that up, because I'm telling you right now, most quarterbacks and tackles aren't used to seeing corner blitzes. So,
yeah, I was going to say, as I'm sure as a coach at this level, like, you're just, hey, we got the incompletion. We'll take that in this situation because it could have been a whole heck of a lot worse.
Yeah.
Well, 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Understall going to run for his life. Has no help. Gets rid of it. That probably...
He's out of the pocket and back to the line of scrimmage, so I think he'll be okay, but... a good business decision right there, right? Why force it? The only situation he had there was to throw it back against his body, which probably turns into an interception. So, 4th down, okay, we'll punt it.
Live to play another down.
Yeah. Obviously, it's not what they wanted. They had Joplin dialed up some pressure and got some pressure on him, and he's not quite the athlete that Kendall is. So, him making some things happen a little bit more difficult athletically, but, it happens. And now we got some Cyclone players down here getting mad at each other on their own sideline. That some things are getting tough when you're fighting amongst yourself. That definitely doesn't help you any.
Well, Hatch will get it away. He's been the bright spot for
nice punt. Nice
Cyclones. Roll. Will be a return. This is Curry, and picks up a good amount of yards.
Yeah, he turned what I thought was into a no return into a decent return and decent field position. So Joplin will be in good shape to get going there out there at the 37-yard line, 38-yard line, something like that. So, looks like we got another injury too from the Cyclones over on Joplin's sideline there.
Maybe some cramps. It is hot.
Yeah.
Out there was low 90s when we kicked off here in Independence. It's cooled down to a balmy 89. But it's
fantastic.
Significantly hotter on the turf, being down there baking in the sun. We're fighting our own battles up here, Gary, as well. It's 83 degrees in the press box and no AC. So, we're all wearing it on our sleeves today.
I'm a nice, lean, mean 300 pounds, so I appreciate the 83 degrees in the press box.
Yeah, it's like a sauna,
Yeah.
I will say, while we have a break in the action, want to alert everybody and be thrilled to announce that the 3rd annual Victory Bowl draft for 2024 is coming up. The best semi-pro players in the region as well as across the country are going to have an opportunity to be drafted, showcasing their talents at a shot at some potential professional roster spots, if I could talk, Gary. Join the Southern Sports Network for this year's draft. It'll be Sunday, August 25th, live from the Hampton Inn and Suites in downtown Tulsa. And then, of course, we'll have the rematch between Billy Perry's Billy's Goats and Marcus London's Legends happening Sunday, October 20th at 3 o'clock, Catoosa, Oklahoma.
Always fun event. Always a great time. Not just the game, but the draft sometimes, in my opinion, is funner than the game. Some of the stuff they come up with, making plays like that by big number 9, getting the sack on Kendall will help you get invited to play in that game. So, again, it's for a great cause. I'm a big fan of the Victory Bowl. Have not taken place in it because it always happens during high school season, and I'm super, super busy, but I always pay attention to it and definitely support it any way I can. It's a great thing. So.
Yeah, no, it certainly is. I know there's going to be, from what I've heard, some rumors of some Arena League, those sort of level coaches in attendance, scouting out some guys for their season as Holmes going to look to the air. Tight spiral that time. Flag will come in as it's complete to Tariel Johnson. And it really benefits everybody. The guys who get to take part, they get that feather in their cap of being part of the Victory Bowl. Not everybody gets to be a part of it. 2, you get that opportunity to be in front of some professional level coaches, maybe able to take your game to that next level, whether it's arena or whatever it might be. And I think the greatest part of it, and I'm sure you would agree, Gary, is it raises money for charity. The charity, again, this year going to be helping pay off student debt or student lunch debt at Catoosa Public Schools. The hosts of the Victory Bowl the last couple of years will have a hold on the field.
Yeah, no, that's what that game does, as fun as it is and all this stuff around it. But at the root of it, the reason for it, the cause of it, and what it does is really the most important. And it does a great job at that of, like I said, helping pay off some school lunch debt for some kids that need it. Yeah. And so, man, it's fantastic. I've known people who aren't involved in the game that have thrown money in just to help, and things like that. And that's what it's about. So looks like the Cyclones defense has turned it up a notch here after a couple penalties, and they got some good down and distance. They're kind of pinning their ears back a little bit here, and defense looks like they're because really the defense has only gave up one touchdown.
Yeah, it's been a pick six, and yeah.
So,
and I was going to say to that point, I think the Cyclones defense has done a good job throughout this first half of taking advantage of what Joplin is doing.
Right.
Whether it be, they're committing the mistakes in terms of the turnovers, the penalties, and then just keeping everything in front of them, except for, the one touchdown play where Davon Jenkins got a little bit exposed on that one. But by far, they've done a good job. One high safety on this long third down. Holmes
and
surveying.
Formation, got some pressure.
Holmes looking to make something happen. Has to get to about midfield. Won't. As that one.
There we go. We got a penalty.
Yeah, I was going to say that's going to be way out of bounds. We'll see who they're going to call it on. As I would say, it's equal parts there. Both Kendall and the defender from the Cyclones.
Yeah, Kendall definitely didn't pull off of that any. It looked like that he was maybe trying to instigate that a little bit, and looked like it worked.
Yeah,
based
certainly.
off the call. So it's kind of a flop, if you will, a little bit. But you got to play the game, right? You got to. So.
And I'm sure the Cyclones are arguing the other side of that coin as well as, hey, he kept going after he was into the red of the sideline here at Truman High School. So, there is arguments for both, but going to be a late hit out of bounds against the Cyclones. And you mentioned it, that Kendall magic comes through once again for the Crew.
Yeah, this time not with making a play on the field per se, making a play on the sideline, if you will, to get the first down at a third and forever situation. So it's insane. It happens. He made it happen. Whether it's right or not, I don't know. I'm not an official. Never want to be an official. But things like that, though, the Cyclones can't afford to do. They just can't.
I've heard vertical stripes are slimming.
Yeah, and we all know I need 83 is helping me. So, the Cyclones were in great situation there. Third and long, they were playing well, had them pinned back, had a good opportunity to get the ball in good field position, and then one penalty changes everything, and now they're on their side of the field reeling, and their stances right now look a lot different than they did before that ball was snapped last time. They're looking a little defeated.
Jet sweep out. Daquan Johnson, the man who had the pick six, he'll find the corner for a couple of yards as we approach 6.5 to go in this first half.
Yeah, it looks. Body language tells you a lot, and looking at a couple of the linebackers there on that last play after the penalty did not look nearly as good as it had. Now, and I understand the frustration alone on what they feel is a bad call. We'll do that, but at times like this is when you need your guys that are your quote-unquote dudes. They got to be able to shake that and step up and make plays, This is when you really need them the most, as opposed to having poor body language and I'm not saying laying down, but maybe not getting
back up for that play. Yeah.
Giving the maximum effort they should. So,
well, again, Cyclones going to work with one safety over the middle. Holmes going to survey, taking a shot for the end zone. That one intercepted. It is caught. Going to be a touchback.
That official made the call quick.
Devon Jenkins.
Which is what he needed to do in that situation. Because if not, you get into the he said, she said battle over there. You can see here on the replay, again, Kendall taking unnecessary risk, throwing the deep ball. I don't understand why when they've moved the ball well. I don't understand that. But great play again by the Cyclones. We just talked about it right there. Just literally the play before that about bad body language. Something like that would get that momentum changed real quick. Good for that kid. I didn't see who it was.
It was Jenkins, the guy who, had a couple of tough plays on that last touchdown drive.
Redeem himself a little bit.
Certainly did. Making the hero.
Him. And but a little bit of an ill-revised throw, in my opinion, from Kendall. I don't know that I take that shot in that situation. But again, it's hard to argue with what Kendall does based off what he's done this year as a whole body of work. As a coach, you get frustrated when you see something like that. But you also just shake your head and walk away and make you feel like you're the smartest man ever when he does some of the other stuff he does, So you live with that stuff. But, man, it's frustrating.
Well, for the Cyclones, they get a gift. Screen set up. Pass complete. Tight rope down the sideline. Don't have 46's number, but able to – they're going to say he lost 2 yards. But what I was going to say to that point is the Cyclones have as many turnovers as they do points in this ball game. We talked about at the beginning of the game when they go down, kick that field goal, that the points off turnover is going to be where they have to make their hay, and they haven't had that opportunity the last one. We'll see if they can get something positive as we near that dreaded middle 8 of a football game.
Yeah, the really important part of the game for them, again, as I said before, that last series, it's a must score. They're getting to that point now in the game where they're going to have to score some points, and not just a touchdown. I mean, even a field goal in that situation, make it a 14-6 game. Hey, you're a one-possession game at that point. You feel a lot better about things than you do when it's a two-possession game.
They're going to get a gift on second and long.
There, but they just need to relax and just put together a drive and get after it a little bit, but. Looks like we got a timeout called by the Cyclones here.
Yeah, and while we have a chance, they're going to talk it over, maybe regroup here. I wanted to mention for all gridiron enthusiasts, high school football is just 3 weeks away in the Natural State and the Sooner State. And we're gearing up for an epic season with the Prairie Grove Tigers and Catoosa Indians. From the first snap to the final whistle, we've got all the action covered. Mark your calendars and join us for the best high school football coverage starting in 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's about that time, baby. I'm ready to go. I am excited. Our non-district schedule is not for the faint of heart. Coach Klink, Bobby Klink, our head coach, is a man that believes in if you want to be the best, you're going to have to compete against the best, which I'm all for. We're in Class 6-2A, so we're not in the big boy class, but we're just one down. So he went out and schedules non-district. We open the year with Owasso, and then week 2 we have Bixby. And going
to find out what you got.
Yeah, we're going to – and then to make matters not worse, but even more
of challenge.
Yeah, is our first scrimmage is with Edmond Deer Creek, which would have been the best 6A2 team if they didn't get bumped on the last realignment, and Carl Albert.
Yeah.
Best team in basically OU's next 2 recruiting classes, Carl Albert. So our first 4 outings with our 2 scrimmages and our first 2 games, we're going to find out real quick how good we are. But I like it. I like the challenge. I like our kids to see it, right? I mean, you want them to do it, but you got to show them it, right? They got to see it. They got to feel it. They got to know what it's like. So we're going to give it to them, and it should be exciting.
Yeah, I was going to say just for for the Prairie Grove side of things, that's where I'll be this year. They have their non-conference slate. The 3 games they have actually has a little bit of an Oklahoma flair to it. They start Tahlequah, Sequoia, then they go to their down the street neighbor in Farmington is Undersaw. Pump fakes, has it wide open. Nothing but green grass in front of Orlando Jackson. Give him 6.
Yeah, and that is on the man who says he gives up no catches, Antoine Baker, for Joplin. He is out there. He'll tell anybody that he didn't give up anything all year, and he gets 8 up right here on the double move. That's a great route by the receiver and a great ball by the quarterback. Sometimes being that open, the quarterback will sell one, but he dropped it in the bucket, and that is what they needed. Okay, as we talked about, they needed a score, and that was big. This is a big play for them. They get the PAT here and make it 14-10. Now it's a different ballgame. Now it's going to have a different feel. I'm sure when the Cyclones defense comes back out, that body language is going to be back where it needs to be, and Joplin's they're going to be trying to figure out what they need to do after throwing another pick. So big time play, big time. That was good. It was a good deal.
They're going to kick the extra point from the 15. So should be a 32-yard attempt on the extra point. Kick is up and knuckles through. We have a game once again in Independence. 14-10. The Crusaders' lead is trimmed. It'll be Kendall Holmes out with the offense after the turnover.
Semipro Saturdays brought to you in part by 950 Ways Graphics. Professional graphics for players, coaches, and teams. Trust the pros at 950 Ways Graphics and look them up on Facebook at 950 Ways Graphics.
Welcome back to Truman High School here in Independence, Missouri, home of the 2024 CMFL championship game. As we'll get ready to get back underway. But Gary, to finish my point before that beautiful catch and throw that led to the touchdown for the Cyclones, as we take another look at it, beautiful double move.
Man, yeah, that was great. Good job. And to be fair, I kind of got on Antoine Baker there as being his guy. I don't know what kind of coverage they were in. I don't know. Maybe it was a safeties man. I don't know. I like to pick on him a little bit because he talks a lot of crap online, and so I had an opportunity to stab at him a little bit, so I did. So go on, though. I guess, didn't mean to interrupt you, but apparently there was some sort of penalty, maybe post-touchdown penalty.
Who knows?
I was unaware of. On the Cyclones, so it looks like it's got to back them up to kick off here. But
I was going to say there was no flag that we saw, but that hasn't stopped the officials so far today, apparently. But what I was going to say, finish that point about Prairie Grove. We're looking forward to another season of their football season. They start with Tahlequah Sequoia at home. They have the Battle Highway 62 the next week against their arch rival, the Farmington Cardinals. Been playing that game since the 1960s, and then. School you're probably familiar with, Gary. They closed their non-conference with a home game with Coweta.
Coweta Tigers, yes, sir. Tahlequah Sequoia, too. That's going to be a tough one. They're led by a guy named Chad Hendricks, head coach, great guy. He kind of broke me in coaching my very first year coaching. He was a defensive coordinator, and I coached D-line, and so we worked closely together. He's a great friend, great guy, and has done a great job at Tahlequah Sequoia getting that program back up. And
I was going to say.
They took a big hit when the COVID happened.
Yeah, they were bad.
Everybody left, basically, because they weren't going to play any sports. The tribe decided not to play any sports during that time, and so it caused some problems. And, man, there's a big crease. This is
big crease.
Charles West, got a block in the back. It's going to come back right there.
Yep. It's going to come back.
From number 12 from Joplin.
Yeah, Trevor Sourjohn.
Yeah, the kicker was the one that got the block in the back for Joplin.
That's what if you're not going to make the tackle, at least have an opportunity to do something to limit the damage there.
Yeah. That was no good. So, great return, though.
It certainly was. As It'll back up the Crusaders and make it a little bit harder for them to go right away into the end zone. With 5 minutes, 5 seconds to go here in the first half. It's going to put the ball right at midfield for the Crew as we get back underway. The shadows starting to get a little longer here at Truman High School.
The sun's finally trying to peek back behind the stands and cool things down a little bit. There we go. Elliot Hawkins making a big run right there.
Yeah, his second real big opportunity of the night. As
now we got
injury timeout. Definitely could be something along the lines or the nature of some cramps, some hydration might be an issue. Like you said earlier, these guys, this is not what they do every day. They are bivocational, if you will, with this being kind of not the day job. I will mention, you've been in semi-pro longer than I have. I feel like in August, late into the year of a title game, it seems a bit strange.
Well,
yes and no.
The way it used to kind of be set up, and it's kind of changed over the years a little bit, but back originally when I first got into the game, which was back when we wore leather helmets and stuff.
It was all black and white.
Yeah. You kind of had 2 seasons. You had a spring season that started in like February, and it's kind of February, March, April, maybe had the championship game beginning of May, and then you had a summer league that picked up shortly after it and then ended about this time. Now you don't have as many leagues because you don't have as many teams. Mm-hmm. So leagues have gotten a little bit bigger, so they stretch out the time frame a little bit longer. So it's kind of a combination spring-summer league that's ending super late, which I was talking to those guys down on the field about it August 3rd. The last time I coached the game in August in semi-pro was back in 2012. 11
a couple
or 12.
leagues ago.
Yeah. Back when the Oklahoma Thunder days.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like really odd to me that, as well, that we're out here this late in the year. I don't know. The calendar kind of shook up that way with some league buys and some other things that the league decided to do, and kind of expanded the playoffs and some things like that. Looks like Big 72's there getting the help off.
Yeah, it's going to be Jacob Friend, as he might need a couple friends getting off the field.
Yeah, he's a big cat, boy. That's a big guy.
Yeah. But I wanted to go back to something you had mentioned. You said there weren't, maybe as many teams as there used to be. I was wondering, it feels like year after year, we have the Kendall Holmeses, Danny Knightons, those sort of guys year after year after year, but it doesn't seem like there's a lot of new blood kind of coming in behind this wave. And I was curious your thoughts. What are some ways that maybe these teams can, I don't know if it's these high school kids coming out who maybe don't go to college or, still want to play, or your thoughts on recruiting to keep this level going?
So my opinion, hold on, let's see what shakes out here. I don't know what's going to. They didn't blow the whistle. We had a face mask take place and no penalty.
They must have blinked.
So I don't know what's happened there. But anyway, I think the biggest problem with not getting youth is, and I'm not trying to say that we did anything special back when I was in it at a younger age, but Mr. Dotson was in it, and he can attest to this if you want to ask him. But back in those days, as coaches, we literally beat the pavement recruiting kids. Like it was an active job in the off season to go out and recruit people to play. Now that doesn't happen. Mm-hmm. Now these guys make a post on social media and think they're just all going to show up. Mm-hmm. It doesn't work that way. And so I think because of it, you're not seeing – obviously you're still getting some new guys in, but not at the rate that the game needs. And you're starting to see the effects of it as well on team sizes and amount of teams. are really shrinking down. When I got into the league, when I bring up a long fourth down here, I don't know, this may be a spot for Joplin to punt.
It'd be a very rare moment.
Yeah. They just like I said, they don't actively go after kids to recruit anymore, and you have to. When I first started, there was a league called the OFL, Oklahoma Football League, and there were 14 teams in Oklahoma alone. Okay, so now there are 2, but we got a timeout here, so we probably take a timeout as well to get some of our lovely sponsors some action. So we'll be back after this.
Nestled in the heart of Baxter Springs, Missouri, the Little Brick Inn stands as a testament to local charm and genuine hospitality. As a locally owned establishment, we take pride in offering a unique and cozy retreat for our guests. To reserve your room, visit littlebrickinn.com.
My story isn't that different from a lot of people that grew up in a small town. My dream was always to play baseball, but as a kid, it's hard to prove yourself when you're so far away from the big leagues. When no one else thought I was good enough, our community did. From family to friends.
Welcome back. Out of the timeout. 4th and long. Kendall Holmes going to try and make something happen. Quarterback draw. Going to take off. Has to get to the 40. He gets there. Little Kendall magic. Flag going to come in trailing the play. Potentially could be against the Crusaders. We'll have to check the marker, Gary.
Yeah, it's in that area of a hold. Sorry, my mic messed up there. There we go. Okay. In the area of a hold there, unfortunately for Joplin. But that's what Kendall does. You know, he'll pull it down and make something happen when it shouldn't on 4th and 13 in the middle of the field. But we'll see. I'm guessing. Let's take a look at the replay here. They go an empty set, so it lightens the box a little bit and gives him that opportunity to run. That receiver automatically started blocking on that receiver, so maybe it was a setup draw from the get-go. But so it is a hold.
Going to back the defending champs up again. Go back to that. They are the 2023 CMFL champions. Cyclones no stranger though to winning championships. They're 2021 MFL champions, iteration of this league before the 4SFL fell apart, merged, however you want to say, as we'll keep it here. Is Joplin going to take a timeout and talk things over here in Independence? But just going back to that point, I agree with you on the player recruitment side of things. I feel like there's so many high school kids who still have that itch to play, want to be involved, that team atmosphere, being a part of something bigger. But just for whatever particular reason, maybe just hasn't taken off.
And I think a lot, and this is the unfortunate side of things, I think there have been, at some points it got oversaturated. And in doing so, there was a lot of bad business taking place. Excuse me. Bad business taking place and burn a lot of bridges in some businesses and trying to get funding and sponsorships and things. And so that has an impact on it as well. Just people willing to get involved are limiting. We've limited it because people have done
ruined it for other people.
Yeah.
Kendall slings it out. First down. Will be enough for the first down by about a yard. That's Tyrone Johnson. Then that's how they should have run the comeback route earlier on in the game.
Yeah.
Pass the stick and sit down.
Yeah. Get the first down and then catch the ball. I've coached Tyrone Johnson before quite a bit. He's a former Gator. I've coached him as a wide receiver and as a DB. As a wide receiver, I'm going to be honest with you, that comeback route was something that we threw a lot to him. He does a great job running it. He's got a big body, and so I'm not surprised at all to see them run the comeback route right there.
High snap. Kendall trying to make a couple things happen. and a shoestring tackle at the 19 saves a touchdown. Take another look at it. As
we got some
a little extracurricular
going down here. Yeah, here you go, Kendall. That's a straight draw all the way. He pushes the right side and ends up cutting it back to make some things happen in a little zone stuff. So there's good stuff, Kendall. There, he's such a good athlete. He just puts you in bind.
Well, we've entered into that middle 8 that we were talking about, the last 4 of the second quarter, first 4 of the third, and it really is a crucial point for the Cyclones if they can limit the damage. They get that ball to start the second half and have an opportunity to maybe take a lead if they can keep Joplin out of the end zone. Going to be difficult, with the ball on their own 18, having to defend that space behind them.
Yeah, and I'll say this. I stand corrected. I've said multiple times today that the Cyclones aren't known for a quick scoring offense, and then they come out and
do that.
Double move and score. So, like I said, I'll stand corrected on that. They've shown me, I'm sure that's what they're out to do, is prove me wrong out of all things. But anyway, that they can. But that's good news for them that they're capable of it. We just hadn't seen a lot of it because, say Joplin scores here, sometime before the 2-minute warning. The Cyclones are going to get the ball back, roughly 2 minutes to go. We now know that they can score quickly, and they know they can score quickly
if needed.
So they're going to have some of the confidence as well because they've done it, that they can go out and do it again, which is great. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. It would be really nice for them, I'm sure, to get a stop right here. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's what they're really hoping for. But
a penalty comes in somewhere. I guess maybe that chirping was what was enough to warrant the yellow rag. I was going to update the viewers at home, Gary. 82 degrees now. It's gone down a degree. We're cooling down slowly but surely up here.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That 1 degree really makes a difference.
I feel the breeze.
I think it could have been Chris. He was doing like some weird fanning thing with his arms. I don't know if he was having an attack or what was going on, but
he needs to keep it up.
Yeah, just more for us, please.
But the same thing that happened down here with the penalty on the Cyclones that hurt them. Here's another situation. Okay, penalty that hurt them. Now they're going Wildcat, snapping it straight to Charles West,
and he's got 6.
Give him empty, just went straight up the middle. Just easy. I mean,
it doesn't come much easier than that.
Well, it's like butter. And that's, you see right here on the replay, like literally they removed the inside backer out. He's coming back in the box late.
He's just like, all right, I'll go where you're not.
Yeah, and instead of playing lateral, he attacks a hole, and Mr. West says, great, that means there's one over here. I'll walk in, and he does. I like how they go Wildcats when Kendall's probably just as athletic as Mr. West is, but it's sometimes it's fun. You get your guys extra totes in situations and extra touches, and that's good. I like it, even though it's not necessary.
Yeah, and I was going to say, to a certain point, as they throw the fade for a third time, it'll be DPI.
He rips his helmet off.
Yeah, as Devin Harris, his helmet's in his hands. I was going to say, that Wildcat, too, for whatever reason, I feel like defenses, they see that guy's not the quarterback, and they just forget how to play defense in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I mean,
for whatever reason.
You watch it at all levels, the Wildcat's hard to defend. And, in Oklahoma, they have what they call, state championship weekend, which is it's over Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and every class plays. Yada. Anyway,
they need to figure out a way to get that to Norman.
Yeah, Watland Stadium is nice, but I'm not even going to get into that. I don't want the OSSA to be tracking me or something, and me get put on some ban list. But
UCO is a fine place to.
It is. UCO is great, and it's not UCO that I have a problem with. But anyway. The little double pass.
That one incomplete.
But at state championship weekend, every team that won ran Wildcat multiple times. Literally every team, they would get in some 3-back offense and run the ball in a Wildcat formation. And so it's still a thing. I seen a thing on Twitter that everybody went to the spread offense. and a guy said something to defenses better get ready. The 3-back offense is going to come back because defenses are now built small and fast and athletic, which they are. And then like I said, literally like a week later, I go down to the state championship, and everybody's in the Wildcat 3-back stuff when they need yardage, and I'm like, well, it's happening now.
Yeah.
Because again, those defenses are set up to play the spread, and you can't be big and physical. You got to be smaller and athletic and those things. And so the offenses, hey, they got the marker last, we'll get big and run over you. But it is I don't know why defenses panic when they put somebody else at quarterback.
They're just like, that's not the guy that we were prepared for.
Right, yeah, he could throw the ball.
But likely not.
99.9% chance he's a running back, he's going to run the ball. But they always panic, and I don't know why. Never have.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, to build on that point about the spread, Prairie Grove, one of the high schools on the Sports Network, have run the wing T since 1992 and have not gotten away from the wing T, have a return for the Cyclones looking for an edge. Cross midfield, turns on the afterburners, and will be brought down.
Position.
But, yeah, great field position to get back another score. But I was going to say, as we take another look at it, it was the man who caught the touchdown earlier, Orlando Jackson, back there on the return.
Does a good job of attacking and letting the wall set up, and then just attack that sideline over there where Joplin lost contain a little bit, and he took advantage. That was a great job. Great return. Good job by the blockers up front. It's a good play for him.
Yeah.
Great field position. They're getting the ball at the 43, 47, and I have confidence that, based off what I've seen today, that they could probably go 47 yards in 2 minutes and 55 seconds with the 2-minute warning and a timeout or two. So
you certainly would think.
Yeah. I mean, they're undefeated in the championship game for a reason, so you would think that's the case. They are coming back out. So this is 2-back. Looks like they're going to want to run the rock a little bit here.
Send a receiver in motion, far side. Like you said, hand off to the fullback.
Man, yeah. I don't know who that guy is, but he is a big load. What number was he?
35, Johnny Cox.
Man.
Wonder if he is related to the Coxes of Oklahoma City.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not, but Johnny Cox is a big man there.
Yeah.
He is a wide-body individual. Him and Mr. Hawkins are one and the same in the running back world.
Same mold.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. He'll stay in the game, flanked on one side of their quarterback, Jacob Understall. Other running back in the formation, Rodney Wiley, who's no string being by imagination either. Understall throws it out and going to be complete. Good job there, Rookie of the Year on the offensive side. Chris Bradley got his hands underneath there, got past the sticks, keeps the drive moving.
Yep, good ball. He underthrew it just enough, as you can see here. Just enough to make sure they keep the defender off his receiver's back and catch the ball, and enough to get some good yardage and keep the drive rolling, and just kind of doing what they didn't stop the clock here on the 2-minute warning. They've kind of kept going here.
2-minute warning.
They did not take the 2-minute warning.
Again, we've talked about this, Gary. This is what happens. These guys are used to playing the high school rules. The guys running the clock are used to doing the high school rules. Just do what they're used to.
Yeah. You got 2-minute warning, and the official hears it from a fan or somebody on the sideline, and he's oblivious to it. And again, it's not his fault.
No,
right?
He's used to what he does.
He never calls a 2-minute warning on Friday night, so it's a new thing for him. So, but Cyclones are in great field position here, and
they definitely have an opportunity to make it a one-score game once more, and also get a little 2-for-1 action potentially with that ball to start that third quarter. But yet, while we have a moment, going back to like I was saying, Prairie Grove, they're wing T since the 90s, and it's one of those things you don't see it very often. But when you do see an offense that is wing T or maybe a dead T or whatever it might be, other teams just they struggle defensively because of that reason, like you mentioned.
Yeah, well, you don't see it very often. I've coached in Oklahoma at Class A, which is the smallest 11-man class, up to 6A, which is the biggest.
Yep.
And I tell anybody that wants to coach on the defensive side of the ball that they need to. And they always giggle and like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, no, listen, at 6A, 5A,
you got athletes everywhere,
and everybody runs variants
similar
of the same offense. Okay, but in 2A, you're going to see the spread one week, you're going to see the flex bone one week, you're going to see the wing T next week. So you're going to have to learn to defend everything on the fly with the same
guys,
25 kids you have, who
are most times going both ways.
Yeah, exactly. So you really learn how to nice hole right there on the power play, nice run.
Strong run. Still going is Rodney Wiley. He'll be close to another first down as they go into the sunset here in Independence.
That was just a good old-fashioned, old-school power, what they ran there. You don't see that a lot nowadays. But that is, as an offensive line guy, that is something that is beautiful to see.
But I was going to say, there's something to be said for just moving another person.
Yep, they just got off the ball and got after it. He's short of the first a little bit, but it's 2nd and 2. They're not very urgent on the time here.
Which is probably, a good thing considering the film for the team on the other sideline. Don't need a lot of time to score. Undersaw has a clean pocket. Looks for the end zone, has a man. It's picked off in the end zone.
Underthrown.
And that's one times you definitely don't want to underthrow a ball in the end zone. You either want to throw it out the back or get it to your guy.
Man, you see here on the replay, he has great time in the pocket. I don't know. Again, kind of like what we talked about earlier with Holmes, sometimes you just got to pull it and run. Pull it and run, get your first down. You got enough. Take a timeout or whatever you need to. Spike it. You have that advantage after you're getting the first down, and you're still in scoring range. Even if you don't get 6, you can get 3. You can do something.
You look to fight another down.
Right, and you're ending the half with points as opposed to ending the half with a turnover.
And potentially giving up points.
Correct, yeah, because who knows what Kendall Holmes
they're not taking their foot off the pedal.
There's going to be something wacky happen, okay? So, and I'm sure they have a trick play or two up their sleeves as well. And it's the championship, and times like this is when you pull them out. So
flip to the back of the playbook and pick one.
Yeah. So who knows? But just that opportunity to leave points on the board is what the most frustrating thing is, and I'm sure for them as well. I mean, but it
is what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
empty look for the Crusaders. 5 receivers in the pattern. Kendall, a little sidearm throw. Completes it. That's Charles West, one of the captains for the Crusaders, and he'll pick up about 5 as the clock goes under a minute here in Independence.
West is like a Swiss Army knife. He plays a lot of slot, but you'll also see him play in tailback. I've even seen him line up in defensive backfield a time or two, unless they had another number 3 I didn't know about. But he kind of does a little bit of everything. He's a very, very good athlete.
Holmes all day, directing traffic, going to air it out. Across the middle.
There we go.
And that one will fall incomplete. There's the flag.
Why was that so late?
I don't know if it certainly for Dimitri Beach. I don't know if for his sake, I just would rather it be something he maybe said instead of what he did on the field, because I think that's a clean football play. He didn't lay him out.
Yeah, and we got all kinds of stuff going on down here with the coaching and the officiating and who knows. So I don't know now what's happening down here. Yeah. I don't know. Their head coach may have made matters worse on his own team. I understand out of frustration, but sometimes you got to learn to
discretion in the face of valor.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to be like, okay, hey, we're not getting the calls today. Let's move on.
Don't do what my dad did when he was a coach. There was a play, they scored a touchdown on a big run play, and way behind the play, this old official, you just see a little yellow, dove, just tails out of the sky, and this guy calls a hold 20 yards down the field. My dad, who wears glasses, takes him off and just does this, just does a little hands him over to the official, and that was an extra 15 for his sake. Yeah. Definitely have to. He tells me that's the only personal foul he's ever gotten as a coach. But
well, here's one
know.
For you. I was with a different organization, and we're up in Wichita, which anybody who's ever played in Wichita knows what that's like. And it's NFL rules. Mm-hmm. So, no, I'm sorry, it's high school rules. So it's any sideline penalty is attached to the head coach. So it doesn't matter. So I had a DB coach get a 15-yard penalty for acting a fool.
Okay.
And then, lo and behold, 25 seconds left in the game. Like, we're trying to score late. We throw a pick, like going into the end zone, and we lose the game. My defense coordinator gets another 15-yard penalty. So in return, I get ejected. So I've been ejected from the game. For
doing nothing.
For doing nothing. But I have been ejected before, and it was not good. But it happens. This right here, though, could be catastrophic for the Cyclones if Joplin gets in the end zone here.
Yeah, it could really break their spirit.
Yeah,
in a lot of ways. Kendall, pump fake. Throws at the last second. That one incomplete.
That was probably better than a completion at that point. But, yeah, so, again, being a head coach myself over the years and being in a situation that Twan acts, he's got to be careful. I mean, the Cyclones head coach. Or he may get himself ejected, as I've just talked about. Yeah. I understand his frustration. There's been some questionable officiating. That's the nature of the beast, okay? I'm telling you now, if you're playing a game of football at any level right now.
Kendall taking a shot. That one picked off again.
12 seconds left there in the game, so take a shot. Why not? But I'm telling you right now, at any level. Here's the replay here. He's just trying to make something happen.
It was a good catch by the Cyclone defender.
That's
4 on the day now.
Yeah, don't want to throw the corner out with too high safety. Anyway, where was I at? What was I talking about there? Anybody remember? I can't even remember. I was watching that play right there. Just frustrated me even more. Oh, yeah, Twan getting kicked out. So if he gets kicked out, like, that impacts, like, his team in a lot of ways, right? Like, so your head coach isn't there. And I know he has great assistants. He and I have talked about his assistant coaches that he has a lot of faith and belief in. But
and you don't want to get kicked out of a title game.
Right. It's the old rule, if the mice is away, the cat will play. Right? Or if the cat's away, the mice will play. There we go. I said it right that time. There we go.
And it's 3 blind mice in stripes.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
I was talking about officiating.
Yes.
No matter what level of football you're at nowadays playing, including NFL and college, you're going to get some poor officiating these days. Okay, it's just something nobody wants to do, and why would they?
They get
berated all the time and cussed out like this poor guy down here is doing, and all that stuff all the time for $75 a night.
Undersaw gets rid of it, and that collision of the game brought to you by Dodson Smokehouse there.
Fantastic. Quarterback got lit up.
And Twan just got a flag, I believe.
And the defense just got ran through.
Twan's out at midfield.
Here's the replay. Yeah, quarterback gets
smoked, and then the receiver
gets ran through. And here's the I don't blame Twan right now. Basically, due to what's already happened for being out on the field like he was in that situation, because he was. That should have been some PI, in my opinion. He's there early. He runs through the legs. It is what it is. So,
and you, to some degree, you also just want to be out there and show it for your players, for your guys.
Yeah, you got to protect your guys. You got to protect your guys, but it comes at a cost, though.
Yep.
It comes at a cost. Ejected.
I like how everybody in the stands, I just look down, looks over at us whenever the PA guy says something like, we're the one doing it.
We're not the PA guy.
It's down the hall and on the right.
So, I don't know. He motioned ejection. I don't know if that was the head coach, Twan, if that was geared towards a player. I'm not sure who that was at. But I don't know. As we mentioned earlier, though, I told you there's not a love loss here.
No.
Not a lot of love lost.
Yes.
And although this is at officiating, it's at officiating due to teams, contacting each other on the field. The receiver getting ran through and things like that. So I'm interested to see what happens here. I don't know.
I was going to say, this game is also just absolutely stalled out in this last 4 minutes of the half.
Yeah, the last 12 seconds have taken 7 minutes due to penalties and questions and arguments and who knows. So,
I almost would say, obviously being down 10, you'd still probably want to try to attempt something towards
the end
zone, but you might just take a knee and get to the locker room.
That's where I'm at right now. Okay?
Which the fun thing about it is, if they do go to the locker room, both teams have to, I believe, go by each other.
Here's the deal. What's funny is they just snapped the ball to walk off on the snap, but the officials had nothing set. Nothing set.
There's been no whistle blown. Undersaw could probably take off. It's down by contact.
They ran the clock. So it's halftime, and the officials have not moved from that spot. So that's a new one on me too. Anyway, man, we need to get to halftime.
Yeah, let's take a break. We will bring you the third quarter. Your score for the 2024 CMFL title game: the defending champions Joplin Crusaders up 20-10 over the Missouri Cyclones. Second half when we return.
Since 1941, the Dickey's family has been smoking the very best quality meats, low and slow, for 14 hours every day. It's how Mr. Dickey did it, and it's how we still do it in every Dickey's restaurant across America. Lunchtime, dinner time, anytime. Eat in, pick up, or heck, we'll even deliver to you. There is no shortcut to what we do. Come in and see us or visit dickeys.com. Legit Texas barbecue.
We are a community of athletes that celebrate success and development while having fun and being safe.
We do a pretty rigorous testing to all of our athletes to track progress as we go.
Our athletes are 10% faster, 179% stronger. They jump 4 inches higher on average. They're 8% more agile and 9% quicker.
You can come in, get extremely high quality training, accelerate your athletic abilities.
Head on over to prodaysports.com.
Come try, see if you enjoy it. For $1, it's worth it.
A tradition of educational excellence, more than a century in the making, continues in Broken Arrow. Here, supportive faculty, in-demand undergraduate and graduate degrees, and affordable tuition make Northeastern State University your transfer destination. Finish what you started.
Located in downtown Prairie Grove, Prairie Grove Auto and Farm Supply has been serving the community since 1983. They carry a large selection of inventory to keep your automobiles and farm equipment running smoothly year after year. As a local, family-owned auto parts store, they are thankful to this community for 40 great years and look forward to serving you for 40 more. Go Tigers!
My story isn't that different from a lot of people that grew up in a small town. My dream was always to play baseball, but as a kid, it's hard to prove yourself when you're so far away from the big leagues. When no one else thought I was good enough, our community did. From family to friends, coaches, and local businesses, my community built me into the player that I am today. And I'm just getting started. When you have the support of a community, anything is possible. First Community Bank, where community comes first.
There's no place like home. Whether you live in Oklahoma, Arkansas, or Missouri, Realty Mart USA is your go-to real estate company for residential, commercial, agricultural, or land. We believe in strong connected communities and sponsor local events. Realty Mart USA, supporting our communities, supporting our future.
I can feel the warmth deep down in
The roof is the home's main defense against the elements, so services like upkeep, repairs, and upgrades are vital. David's Roofing is the only roofing contractor in Northwest Arkansas that has the prestigious Select Shingle Master rating from Certainty. With David's Roofing, your roof is in good hands.
In 1851, the Cherokee ignited the lamp of learning in the wilderness. For more than a century, this has been a gathering place where minds are developed and lifelong relationships are made, where dreams find direction. The lamp burns brightly still at Northeastern State University.
With the taste of friends, family, and backyard barbecues, Bentonville Brewing Company. Family owned, family operated, family friendly. Pick up a 6-pack of your favorite IPA, porter, sours, or any one of the delicious flavors Bentonville Brewing has to offer. Or enjoy a cold one on tap at your favorite restaurant. Bentonville Brewing Company. Quality, consistency, assume your natural state. Bentonville Brewing Company, Bentonville, Arkansas.
Things could be stranger, but I don't know how. I'm going through changes now. Spend a lifetime trying to figure it out. I'm going through changes, ripping out pages. I'm going through changes now.
Some might say I'm an ideas guy. I'd like to think of myself more as a doer. I like to make things happen, both for myself and for the people my businesses serve. Signature Bank has been crucial in that for me, from starting my moving businesses to expanding into mobile minis, all the way to our current office and warehouse space. Signature has advised and supported me every step of the way.
I can feel the warmth deep down in my bones. I know that I am home. I miss him too. Love brings us here. Together's where we all belong. You're my home. My home.
The College of Education at Northeastern State University prepares educators, mental health providers, and fitness or health professionals with undergraduate and graduate programs. Choose from degrees in elementary, secondary education, special education, health and human performance, psychology, and more. Be ready from day one at Northeastern State University.
My name is Michaela.
We are computer science pros, chemists and lab technicians, health professionals, mathematicians, and science educators. We are the Greg Wadley College of Science and Health Professions at Northeastern State University. Choose from degrees in natural sciences, health and pre-health professions, mathematics and computer science, and more. Discover the possibilities at Northeastern State University.
Mowing your yard just got easier. TNG Power Equipment has the best Ferris mowers to get the job done, including the all-new 60-inch redesigned deck that mows up to 11 miles per hour in tall or wet conditions. And for smaller lawns, our Ferris 300S starts at just $39.99. And right now, save up to $1,000 on select Ferris models. Commercial grade to last a lifetime. TNG Power Equipment has Ferris mowers to tackle your projects.
Nestled in the heart of Baxter Springs, Missouri, the Little Brick Inn stands as a testament to local charm and genuine hospitality. As a locally owned establishment, we take pride in offering a unique and cozy retreat for our guests. To reserve your room, visit littlebrickinn.com.
My story isn't that different from a lot of people that grew up in a small town. My dream was always to play baseball. But as a kid, it's hard to prove yourself when you're so far away from the big leagues. When no one else thought I was good enough, our community did. From family to friends, coaches, and local businesses, my community built me into the player that I am today. And I'm just getting started.
When you have the support of a community, anything is possible.
First Community Bank, where community comes first.
Nestled in the heart of Baxter Springs, Missouri, the Little Brick Inn stands as a testament to local charm and genuine hospitality. As a locally owned establishment, we take pride in offering a unique and cozy retreat for our guests. To reserve your room, visit littlebrickinn.com.
My story isn't that different from a lot of people that grew up in a small town. My dream was always to play baseball. But as a kid, it's hard to prove yourself when you're so far away from the big leagues. When no one else thought I was good enough, our community did. From family to friends, coaches, and local businesses, my community built me into the player that I am today. And I'm just getting started.
When you have the support of a community, anything is possible.
First Community Bank, where community comes first.
Well, welcome out of the halftime break. Stephen Blackston and the coach, Gary Joyce, with you for quarter 3 of the 2024 CMFL Championship game here in Independence, Missouri. And Gary, through 2 quarters, are scored 20-10. The defending champions, the Crusaders, are ahead, but it hasn't been the easiest of rides. 4 turnovers in the first half for Kendall Holmes, one of those resulting in a field goal that got the scoring going in tonight's contest. What are some second half adjustments you see for either side?
Yeah, we'll see how it goes here. The end of the half ended in a...
It was messy.
Yeah, very messy what's going on, and a lot of penalties and a lot of weird sloppy play, and unsure what was going on with the officiating and the rules and what they were doing. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know what all happened at the end, and if somebody's ejected, I don't know. All I know is we're about to start the second half of what should be a good ending.
Yeah.
A real good ending. Both teams have shown signs of really good football and have shown signs of really bad football. So we'll see what we get here to start the half.
I was going to say, wasn't a great start to the second half as Cyclones not quite sure what to do with that kick to start us off, but we'll see what offensive adjustments the Cyclones offense is. Maybe, we mentioned at the beginning of the game, this is more of a ground and pound offense, maybe going to hit you on a PA boot, 5-10 yards down the field, cloud of dust on running plays. Had that quick hitter on that double move. It's their lone touchdown of the night, and see if they maybe go back to a little bit more of that. They had some success.
Yeah, I mean, they've had times where they've ran the ball well, and they had times where obviously Joplin's played really well. I mean, they kind of found that little niche formation with the little bunch and motioned the guy in and out of it. And, they had some good running, got some good yardage there in the running game, and they've actually done really good at been really well at throwing the ball deep and intermediate. So I would not be surprised. It looks like we got a re-kick
yeah.
Offside.
Sort of. I was going to say starting our second half the way we ended our first.
Yeah. But I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the Cyclones come out and are a little heavy in the air, just due to the success they had in the air. Because not only have they have the touchdown in the air, but they've done a good job. Like I said, in the intermediate passing game, he did throw a pick unnecessarily late there in the half on a situation that hurt him. And almost flipped the game on its head, as they were going in to score. And they threw the pick, and Joplin then almost scored again right there before half. But again, that's kind of my thinking. If I'm the Cyclones, based off what I've seen, I'm throwing the intermediate passing game with the receivers. They got the Rookie of the Year, the 15 kid. I'm terrible with names.
Oh, Orlando Jackson?
Yeah, he's done a great job.
Had the touchdown.
Yeah. And so throw the ball. Be smart. Take what you can get. Not necessarily get away from the running game, but
do what's been working.
Yeah. If you remember there, they had that one drive. Well, the drive that he did throw the interception on and ended, but they completed three balls.
Yeah.
And then they ran, and he hit 12 yards on the run. On the running play. It's just kind of the opposite of running the ball to set up the pass. They're kind of passing the ball to set up the run a little bit. And so, we'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah, it reminds me of the old Hayden Fry adage: "Scratch it if it itches." Do what's working, and get the ball down the field. They don't ask how; they ask how many. At the end of the day, and especially when you're going to play for a title game. Do you think the officials are just wondering maybe where they're getting dinner after, setting that up? Maybe Golden Corral. Maybe a local eatery around here. I don't know.
That's the only thing I can think of. They threw the penalty for offsides. They've reset the ball, and now they're at a standstill. I don't know if they're...
Are they waiting on an official maybe? I don't know. They finally are...
Okay. Now
they've settled. I think, based on the body language, they are going to... the Taco Bell off the road over here after the game tonight.
Perfect. They're going to get a couple Taco Supremes.
Yeah.
Crunch Wrap Supreme.
Oh, I'm a big fan of a Crunch Wrap. Ooh,
oh, yeah.
Can't beat that. Liv Moss.
I was super happy when they decided to bring back the Mexican pizza. I thought that was just
I remember our own Chris Dodson. That's his favorite item from Taco Bell. I remember being where I was when he found out that they were discontinuing it. He almost dropped to his knees and wailed at the sky.
I was close. I was right there behind him. And also when Arby's took away the potato cakes, which they just brought back, I was devastated by it. Luckily they brought back, so I'm now a fan of Arby's again.
We have some people on the field now.
The holdup was the chain gang. So now we got some chain gang guys going to get over there.
The beauty of semi-pro.
This is it's a weekly occurrence, usually before the game.
Mm-hmm. Not normally after half.
Yeah, well,
you know?
Here's the deal. I don't. The first half chain gang was 2 Tulsa Gator players that were here for the All-Star game, and Lisa Cox, who is somebody works with the Oklahoma Bears organization.
That last name sounds familiar.
That was it's Coach Cox's sister. Yeah, they work and they did change the first half, and I'm willing to bet they said no.
We're not sticking around.
Yeah, they're good. So and I don't blame them. But
well, for real this time.
Field position anyway.
Jackson will bring it out for the Cyclones. I don't hear too often a line change for your chain gang, but I digress. We'll get the second half officially underway with that kick, and we'll see what the Missouri Cyclones, that is the St. Louis metropolitan area, what they can do. Winners of the Gateway Conference this year. Undefeated, 12-0 to this point. They haven't all been massive blowouts like you might see on the Joplin schedule, but they win the game. The immortal words of Al Davis, just win, baby. That's all that they care about is putting stuff in that left-hand column at the end of the day, and they're looking to finish it out. They do have some work to do tonight.
Yeah. Joplin's played really well defensively as well. We've kind of picked on, talking about the mistakes that the Cyclones have made, but that's came out of a purpose, out of reason, and as you see right here.
On cue.
Yeah, but we do have a penalty.
Yeah.
We do have a penalty, and they did blow them down.
I would say for everybody here on this home sideline, the Cyclone fan base that's traveled, which, hey, kudos to them. There's a lot of people on this home side. They're hoping that it is a defensive penalty of some variety.
Yeah, I definitely think it's some pass interference, offensive pass interference, obviously, I think. You look at the replay here. Again, I don't understand this throw.
He does get hit.
Yeah, he gets hit.
So he's not able to step into it. But, yeah, again, you're throwing at 3 white jerseys. Oh.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Let's see what happens here. I don't know what's going to happen. We got the white hat talking to the quarterback, and it looks like it's going to be against Joplin because he's not telling the offense to get off the field.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that they're going to call defensive pass interference.
And we have a Joplin coach out chatting with one of the officials. So
yeah.
This just occurred to me, but some of these semi-pro coaches, I think, should go either work in like the local assembly in their state or in D.C. in a lobby because they can work an official.
There is a class all semi-pro coaches take. It's called How to Work an Official Over. I've seen and I've been fortunate enough to get some crazy things to happen. But here's what's crazy is you'll have the same crew on a Friday night, in Oklahoma, it's the same crew. And you won't get nothing budged. And for some reason at a semi-pro game, man, you can get them to change all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm. They don't care quite as much.
Yeah, they're just like, whatever. I'm here to get my $50, hurry it up and go home. Yeah. But on a Friday night, maybe there's a little more stock in it. I don't know. But I always enjoy when they officials come out at a high school game, and I know them from a semi-pro game, usually have a pretty good Friday night. And that's sad, but nevertheless, I'll take whatever I can get.
Well, after the penalty, Cyclones get even better field position. Should be another 5 free yards. They'll blow this one dead. Guess they'll say that the defender there was unevaded to the quarterback. And it'll be 1st and 5 at the Cyclone 49.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just me, but we're 28 seconds into the second half, and I feel like we've been on air for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
The second half here.
It is
28 seconds off the.
And that's, I'll pose the question to you, and if you want to think about it, you can, but How can – because I feel like this happens at least once a moment or once a time in every semi-pro game. There's just a stretch where nothing gets accomplished.
Yeah, it comes back to the – and I hate to say this, but it comes back to the officiating issues because they're the ones that cause the questions to be asked and everybody to pose the questions.
That one's intercepted. Undersaw was trying to get it out of bounds, trying not to take the sack. And Cyclones are going to have the football, or excuse me, the Crusaders are going to have the football in Cyclone territory. And Gary, Undersaw just trying to get this out of bounds, trying not to take the sack, and makes a mistake there.
Yeah, he kind of has that guy that's semi-open there, and he's just got too many bodies on him and to do it. And he just, again, I hate to keep saying it with both of these quarterbacks, but they have to learn it's okay. It's okay to snap the ball again without hitting, a bunch of yards. It's okay. It's okay to do it. But I don't know. It just doesn't seem like that happens. So I don't know. It looks like though maybe the Cyclones have a other quarterback warming up down here on the sideline. Number 3, Brandon Patterson. After that interception, he came over here throwing the ball with the receiver. I don't know if he's their backup, and maybe they're looking to make a change or what. But
on the field, Elliott Hawkins will have the first offensive action of the second half for the Crusaders. And this is not, going back to the conversation we had right before the end of the second quarter, this middle eight. For those who aren't familiar with it, have watched college football, NFL, all this sort of stuff, the middle eight of a game, the last 4 of the second quarter, first 4 of the third can really swing a game. And Gary, I think so far it would be fair to say that Joplin has navigated this middle eight the best. While they didn't get that touchdown before the end of the half, as Kendall trying to evade some trouble, not going to be able to, brought down by Defensive Rookie of the Year, Jalen Cawley. You have to say where they're standing now in Cyclone territory, great opportunity to really start putting this one to bed.
Yeah, you can see right here on the replay though that Cyclones aren't ready to do that just yet. They've done a great job of getting after Kittle. Not only that, a lot of teams have done a great job of getting bodies to Kendall. They just haven't done a great job of bringing him down, and that's something the Cyclones have done really, really well tonight. Is when they've got to him, they've actually brought him down, which is big deal because he's magic back there, and they've limited that quite a bit. So
Kendall has some time to throw, and incomplete. Going to be 4th and 9. I imagine Sam Sturgis will keep the offense on the field with no kicker.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't even a question. As soon as the ball was thrown, Kendall Holmes was throwing the hands up for everybody.
What are we doing?
Up. Yeah, breaking the huddle because he's got a play to call, and they're going to go for it here. So I will say this. The Cyclones have also done a great job of limiting Tyshawn Curry's touches. He hadn't had the ball much his way tonight at all. There's been a lot of Charles West, but not a lot of Curry. And Curry's, he's a big part of what they do offensively. And so the Cyclones have done a really good job of limiting what he's been able to do.
And he's the Offensive Player of the Year. Flag comes in, lofted in, caught. That's Johnson. There's a flag on the play. Johnson fighting, clawing, scratching into the end zone. He has the touchdown. We'll need to check the marker behind the play, as the Cyclones players say it is against the Crusaders.
Yeah, right there in that holding area. It's going to be brought back. Again, though, that's that crazy magic, though, right? It's 4th and 9. Kendall finds a way to drop it in a bucket to a wide-open guy, and then, obviously, he did the work to get it in the end zone there. The Cyclones secondary doesn't do a great job tackling people. They like to go for the football instead of tackle. But nevertheless, I digress. That brings up a 4th and 19 now.
I think the offense will still stay on the field.
They are. They're not going to change anything. They're just going to see what magic Kendall can do now. What's the next trick he has up his sleeve? Let's call doubles 4 vertical, and let's see what happens, Kendall.
On this play, basically, the Crusaders are going to be snapping this thing from Lee Summit. Have to get down to the 24 of the Missouri Cyclones to pick up the first down.
As we were talking before the game, I said Kendall Holmes does a great job of bringing backyard football to real football, and it's stuff like this where you get to see it. And we'll see if it happens right here.
Quarterback draw. Holmes going to take off. Has a couple of blocks downfield. He'll be close to the marker. We'll see the spot, and indeed, it is enough for a first down. Yeah, there's not much you can say.
I mean, there you go. There you go. That is the Kendall Holmes effect. That is the league MVP effect right there. You're dead in the water, man. It's 4th and 19.
And off he goes.
And he just pulls it down and goes and gets the first. And now they're going Wildcat here. We got a little false start because the cadence is a little different. That's the one thing that
with that Wildcat.
Yeah, you struggle a little bit with up front is, you're used to one cadence and then you hear a different voice and it's not the same rhythm. So sometimes you can kind of get some stuff up front off a little bit, and it's okay. I mean, I'm sure Joplin's like
opens the playbook up more.
Yeah. Like, okay, now we just let Kendall go run now, or whatever, But I don't know, man. I've defended against Kendall, coached against the Kendall, last year. Coaching with the Gators, being the head coach of the Gators, we played Joplin 3 times. We beat them twice in the regular season, and Kendall pulled off some magic in the championship game. And defending him was hard. We did a great job during the regular season. We did a great job in the championship game, other than the last series of the game, and he got us. But it is hard to defend. He is hard to defend. You have to sell out a lot of real estate and bodies to defend him. And it really gives you some weaknesses at other places that you hope they don't find.
Yeah, as I was going to ask, I know, at the collegiate level, maybe at some of the high school, when you have that mobile quarterback, a lot of people will, maybe use a linebacker as a spy or something like that. At this level, is that successful, or is maybe that discipline level as a tunnel screen set up as Johnson was trying to run through his defender there, but I was going to go that spy. Is that maybe the best way to go after Kendall?
So when we played them, I'm not willing to. I'll
divulge all your.
I'll share them all. Yeah. I'm an open book now. I'm not out there doing it anymore. But but yes, we committed 2 players to him
to bracket him.
There were spies. We had a guy at the 2nd level and a guy at the 3rd level that were responsible for spying him. And you talk about giving up a lot of real estate, right? A lot of risk for little reward, meaning that we gave up a lot defensively in hopes to stop him, but knew we were going to give up a lot some other places. So
slung out, incomplete, 2nd and goal.
So yes, the first, I believe all 3 times we played, we did a good job of defending him outside of a drive, but we just gave up a lot. We gave up a lot to do it, and actually what happened on that 99-yard drive is he found one of the areas that we gave up to defend him and took advantage of it, and we weren't able to make a change fast enough on that last drive to break it, and he just kept going to it. So it's kudos to him, taking nothing away from him. He did a great job, but boy, it's frustrating though.
Certainly is. I was going to mention, I was looking over at the clock. It is not stopped on the incompletion. About 45 seconds is rolled off of this. I digress. 2 backs in the backfield for the Crusaders. Elliot Hawkins going to get his number called, and he is met in a blue wall. Good job from the interior defensive line that time of the Cyclones. Put a stop to the big man's attempt that time.
Yeah, it looked like the Joplin kind of lined up in a 2-back tight end, like 21 personnel type old school pro set stuff, and tried to get downhill a little bit, which, okay. I got Elliot Hawkins. I'm probably going to try to do that, but kudos to the front.
I'd like to see a semi-pro team line up in the T one time.
Yeah.
A little dead T action.
Let's see what happens. Well, they didn't line up in the dead T. So there was a team back in the OMFL days, Mr. Dotson's baby, the Stillwater Outlaws, and they ran kind of a single wing slot T, very kind of anyway, and they ran the OMFL for some time because nobody could defend it. Great open field tackle.
Yeah, great individual effort that time from one of the captains, Trey Vaughn, for the Cyclones. forces a 4th and goal. This would be a big momentum moment for the Missouri Cyclones.
Yeah, big stop right here if they can make it happen. But, yeah, the Stillwater Outlaws ran that league for 2 or 3 years until a team was put together that was able
super
to
team.
just because they were superior athletic, way more athletic than them, so they just, out-athleted them. But there for the first 2 or 3 years, I mean, they would just wear your butt out, and there was nothing you could do about it. And it was frustrating.
Well, the Cyclone fans that have made the trip from St. Louis trying to make some noise will their side into a 4th down stand. Holmes serving, slings, incomplete.
Big stop. That's big for the Cyclones right there. That was a big play right there. Big series.
It certainly was. You look at if this goes in, you're down 3 scores with half or so of the quarter to go. You've weathered the middle 8.
Yes.
The best that you can. So now it's an opportunity as you don't get the shooter's roll for the Cyclones to put a long drive together and maybe get some points of their own.
Yeah, and it looks like maybe the Cyclones haven't made a quarterback change. Oh no, I'm sorry. Quarterback just getting the play call.
Yeah,
hadn't gotten
a little old school. Run to the sideline, get the play.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. That reminds me at Prairie Grove. That's what they do. By every play, quarterback runs to the sideline, or if there's a sub, he'll run out with the play.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I feel like for some of these high school kids, that's a bit daunting of a challenge.
It gets old after a while. I've done it though. I've been that guy that's done it. Nice hole.
Yeah, nice hole. You could see it here from the press box. That you could drive a Mack truck through the running lane that time for the Cyclones, and I think that from what you were saying about the film study you've been on with the Cyclones. This is the type of field position that their offense maybe is the best for. Is you get out of the shadow of your goalposts, pound some people, run some clock, and then eventually can kind of work it open as you go down.
Yeah, and they kudos to Joplin's front 7 because they have not had a just ton of success running the football tonight, and that's their MO. I mean, that's what they hang their hat on for sure. They had a little misdirection right there.
Yeah, trying to break it to the outside across the 15 to the Missouri 16. Going to bring up a 3rd and 1. So, again, manageable where you want to be.
Absolutely.
I almost would wonder in this situation if you just line up under center and give your quarterback a shot across. Don't have to get all the yards in the world. Just got to get the one, keep the clock rolling.
The old Philly special, the old Philly push or whatever they call it now. But my guess is they probably have not taken one snap under center all year.
They don't know the exchange.
Yeah. And
they hand it off. Again. Need to get to the 18. They don't. They're going to lose a yard.
Man, Joplin's front 4 right there.
Came to play on that one.
Yeah, they were just stacking up blocks. That was a great job. It's a 4th and half a yard here.
I think you have to punt it in this scenario, I'd imagine. Unless you got a no-fail 100% yard play.
I mean, I'm going hard count.
Hard count,
situation.
timeout.
Yeah, and then probably call a timeout, probably run out my punt team in this situation. But
we'll see. We'll see how the cards fall for the Cyclones. They're going to work from the shotgun. Approaching 6 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Handoff. Have to get to the 20. They're not going to get there. They're going to be short, and there'll be a turnover on downs as it's pretty much a wash, rinse, repeat of the last play.
Yeah, you can see on the replay here, Joplin does just a fantastic job. Their front 4 stacks up everybody, and they get no movement. And in return, Joplin gets the football right back where they were at. So we just were praising the job that the Cyclones did defensively to keep Joplin out. And now
they got to go back out there.
Yeah, I'm with you on the punt in that situation. It's too early to gamble that. Maybe if it's 6 minutes to go in the game in this situation, okay, great. 6 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. When you do have a kicking game, you do have a punter that can flip field position. I think you kick it there and force them to go.
Yeah.
Maybe they still make, maybe they drive 70 yards still, but
you had to make them earn it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have a whistle right at the snap. Kendall Holmes not happy, as I think he might have seen something that could have led to 6 on the board. Well, we have a
Cyclones were having a hard time getting all their defenders on the field. There were guys running on late, so they ended up having to burn a timeout instead of taking the penalty because there were guys out. So
I was going to say, as we get ready to head to break, follow the Southern Sports Network on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok for scores, standings, and great exclusive content each and every week, whether it be at the semi-pro level or the high school game. We'll take a break here. 2010, Joplin leads.
Semi-Pro Saturday is brought to you in part by 950 Ways Graphics, professional graphics for players, coaches, and teams. Trust the pros at 950 Ways Graphics and look them up on Facebook at 950 Ways Graphics.
Welcome back out of the timeout. High snap. Holmes dumps it off, almost completes it to Charles West. And, there's that what you're talking about, that backyard football mentality, trying to make something out of nothing.
Yeah, and was right there on the verge of it, just overthrew him a little bit and caused an incomplete pass, but almost made a miracle happen on a bad snap and a bad play. That could have been a loss of 6 or 7, but at a minimum, he threw an incomplete ball, and they're 2nd and 10, ready to go.
2nd down, 10 to go, 5:50, to go third quarter. Have a stack near side of Crusader receivers. Going to be handoff for Hankins. Gets to the second level. That's where he likes to live. Big man's rumbling, tumbling, and a trainer has to get out of the way as the train was on the tracks.
Yeah, a lot of body moving out of bounds there. You better move or you're going to get ran over yourself. But you notice there, you mentioned that stack formation. Joplin did a great job of stacking those receivers really wide and bringing the 2 defenders all the way out there and then running the ball at them and into a nice void of space there. That was a good job with the alignment by those receivers to kind of help the run game a little bit.
Should be about.
It looks like we still got third down.
Third down and need a yard. I'm sure Crusaders will have something here to get a positive play. Feed it to 29. Nope.
Kendall makes a move and gets a
touchdown, Crusaders. Kendall Holmes, the MVP, does it himself. Slips and slides his way in. And we shall see if that ultimately will be the dagger for the Crusaders.
You can see on the replay here, this is in the Reed game, this is a give, right? By every rule, he should give the ball.
Because that end sits.
Yeah, and then he decides to go ahead and pull it, juke him out, and then go score. So, as a coach, you tell him, hey, dude, that was a give, but then you also tell him, good job. It's frustrating at times. Because here's the deal. There are times that he gets tackled for a 4-yard loss there, but you also know that
he can also do that.
Right. He's going to get you one of those too. So you just close your eyes.
Yeah, you ride the roller coaster.
Yeah. And Joplin here is going to go tight end 2-back. I like it. One little pistol.
A little offset pistol.
Is that West in the backfield? Or
and 2-point conversion is good. That is
number 7 at quarterback.
That was at quarterback DeQuan Johnson. On the 2-point try was Fernando Menace, a.k.a. Shaq, on the roster. We'll take a break. Crusaders extend their lead, 28-10, 5:12 to go here in Independence.
Nestled in the heart of Baxter Springs, Missouri, the Little Brick Inn stands as a testament to local charm and genuine hospitality. As a locally owned establishment, we take pride in offering a unique and cozy retreat for our guests.
To reserve your room, visit littlebrickinn.com.
My story isn't that different from a lot of people that grew up in a small town. My dream was always to play baseball. But as a kid, it's hard to prove yourself when you're so far away from the big leagues. When no one else thought I was good enough, our community did. From family to friends, coaches, and local businesses, my community built me into the player that I am today. And I'm just getting started.
When you have the support of a community, anything is possible.
First Community Bank, where community comes first.
Well, welcome back to this year's CMFL championship game. Crusaders, after the touchdown, looking to start making this thing late early. As Sour John gets us back underway deep into the Independence, Missouri night. Cyclones going to have a return. Have had some success in this part of the game, but the return of that time met like a Mack truck by Devon Randall.
Hey, Devon Randall appears to be a special teams player. I hadn't seen him out on the field much other than that. And hey, if you're a special teams player, you better make plays on special teams, and that's what he does. He does a great job. So it was fantastic.
The Cyclones going to have the ball at their own 30. Desperate need of points, have not scored since about halfway through the second quarter on a great double move credited to Orlando Jackson. An even better throw from Jacob Unnerstall, the quarterback for the Cyclones.
We do now have a quarterback change. Number 3 is in at quarterback there.
That's going to be Brandon Patterson, one of the captains.
Yeah, I don't know how well you can see on your screen there, but Mr. Patterson is a big dude, big guy.
Let's see if that changes the playbook at all. Well, first down, going to be a simple handoff and hitting the hole hard that time.
Gain of about 1 there.
On the tackle, I was going to say, was T.J. Austin coming down like a sledgehammer in the hole.
T.J. Austin, he has really, really settled into himself this season. He's played for a couple years and kind of been a little bit of a wild card, and this year he's really done a great job running in the middle of the field for Joplin at that inside backer position. He's athletic and physical, as you've seen right there. He's not afraid to lay the boom. So,
well, 2nd and 9. Quick out. Bubble screen trying to be set up for the Cyclones. Nothing there. Maybe the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and you know how we talked about how Joplin's front wasn't as big, but they are athletic. There's an example. Shaq is in at DN, and he gets out there and gets involved in the tackle on a spot screen, you know. So that's – you may give up a little bit of size, but you gain something like that with some athleticism, which is big, you know. You don't see that crap happen often.
Yeah. I'm curious to see, if we could ask the coaching staff of the Cyclones what this change at quarterback, what was the premise of this, because they've picked up a yard and the offense really has been a little more conservative, I think, than they've been all night just through these 2 plays.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just a well,
I say that. We might have spoke too soon. Take it back. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Chris Bradley, will be brought down inside the 10.
Great effort by Dougie Moore to make the tackle, but wow.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's semi-pro. Just when you think a team is dead in the water, they find a way.
Big man steps back and drops it in the bucket. If he had a little bit more arm strength, he's in without a question. Yeah. He just underthrows it a little bit, but nonetheless, he's down there at the 5 now, and Cyclones got life.
Yeah, we found a pulse for the Missouri Cyclones. Credit to Brandon Patterson. Uncorks that one for his 2nd throw of the night.
Man, he is a big guy.
Got a big arm on him.
Yes, he does.
Under 3 minutes to go in the 3rd. Cyclones going to break the huddle with 2:52 in the frame.
I wonder if he can run. I don't know that he's built for the run game, but here's the deal. He'd be hard to take down.
He certainly would.
Be like tackling your left guard. Kind of the Ben Roethlisberger effect.
Another screen set up, looking for the end zone. Ball's out. Cyclones don't have it. Looks like it's in the hands of the Crusaders.
Yep.
And another red zone turnover for the Missouri Cyclones.
Wow. Here's a replay. You can see Joplin does a great job of gang tackling and then working for the ball. I mean, you see them in there. They're just ripping at it on the replay. And there it goes. Man. Can't get out of their own way.
No. Some days when it rains, it pours. Oh. And we might have some extracurriculars. There's a flag. As one of the captains, A.J. Christie for the Cyclones, was running after somebody in a gray jersey. I think they're going to send him home early.
Yeah. I don't know. The frustrations are running high for the Cyclones there.
See some of AJ's family in attendance down here below.
Yeah. I don't know where that came from or what happened there, but another unneeded delay.
Well, while we have a moment, we talked about this in the first half, but the third annual Victory Bowl draft this year in 2024 is coming soon on August 25th. Downtown Tulsa, we'll have that broadcast for you on the Southern Sports Network, or if you're able to join us live at the Hampton Inn Suites in downtown Tulsa. Should be a great night. The best semi-pro players from all over the region, even other countries as well, have an opportunity to be drafted, showcasing the skills that they have at this level. This year's Victory Bowl's charity game is focused on supporting local community by paying off school lunch debts for students at Catoosa Public Schools in Catoosa, Oklahoma. Don't miss the exciting rematch between Billy Perry's Billy Goats and Marcus London's Legends, taking place Sunday, October 20th at 3 p.m. It's a can't-miss event only on the Southern Sports Network. And I believe, Gary, this will be the walk-off for Marcus London. Going to be done with coaching, done with semi-pro after this charity game.
Yeah. I was calling a game up in Joplin and just was able to talk a little bit about London and him retiring, and Marcus and I have a long-standing relationship. Marcus actually played for me. He was actually one of the key cornerstones to me starting my first organization as a head coach. I plucked him from another team that nobody thought could happen, and I was able to make the move happen. And anyway, Marcus is, man, he's one of a kind and a guy that I truly love as a brother. He's a guy that I've met through this that I'm thankful for every day that I have, and I hope that whatever he does off into the sunset, that it's what he wants, and I hope he feels fulfilled when he walks away from the game, because he definitely left it better than he found it. And that's what we all hope to do. So kudos to him, and whatever it is he's going to do, So
yeah, and also, kicking cancer's butt as well.
Yeah, just on a personal level. I mean, he's fought that stuff several times, and luckily he has defeated it each time and came out on the right side, and that should just kind of tell you the type of
guy he is.
Yeah, and fight and intestinal fortitude he has to continue to do that. And I would take that guy. If I'm in a dark alley and I need somebody to help me, that's definitely a guy I'm calling. And here's the deal. Not only would I know he would be there in a heartbeat, I know that he would be the good guy to, he's definitely going to go to work with me. So I love London to death, and I'm going to miss him being around the game. But like I said, he's definitely paid his debt to this game at this level, as he's been involved for a long, long, long time.
Yeah, I was going to even say, but doing these, we do some basketball games at Prairie Grove, and his daughter is on the girls' basketball team at Farmington, one of the schools that they competed against. So it's been cool getting to see, the next generation of London's compete as well, as she's a heck of a basketball player in her own right.
Yeah, it looks like we had some offsetting penalties there, unsportsmanlike, but also his son. His son, a football player there at Farmington, is a good little athlete too. Watch that kid grow up via social media and do a good job. And I just a big fan of London.
Oh, pop pass around the outside. Picks up about 15. Will move the sticks on first down for the Crew.
Yeah, they motion Hawkins up to the edge there to a little empty to help set the edge on the jet sweep. It was a good. They set that up well with their formation and motion.
I was going to say, Elliott didn't even have anybody to block, and he was supposed to set the edge. There was nobody there to block even. There was no edge setter.
Even easier for him.
Just go find somebody in a blue jersey at that point.
Yep.
Well, fresh set of downs, but a flag. Check the marker. Imagine it'll be on the Crusaders as they're already backing up. Again, bit of history on the line for Joplin. Been around since 1999. Party like it's 1999 for the Prince fans out there. Looking for win 300 tonight. It'll be 300 wins for the organization and a 13th league championship in whatever league that might be. You know, they'd had a few dry years, but since coming to the CMFL, it has been the land of milk and honey for Joplin with back-to-back title appearances as Hawkins is hogtied.
Fantastic tackle there by number 23 coming off the edge. Did a great job there going low on the big guy, which is what you got to do. But, yeah, Joplin been around forever. They started out their first couple of years, they were really, really, really bad. They were in the league called the NAFL, which is the big national league at the time, and they were getting beat by hundreds of points a night. They were bad. And they decided that, well, maybe they weren't quite ready for that national level yet, so they kind of retooled a little bit and kind of got on the regional level. And then once that happened, they started rolling, and they started winning championship after championship. And they went on a run there for a while. Well, it was basically just a foregone conclusion they were going to win it. And then some things started happening with some player personnel, some guys that they had that.
Oh, we got a sack.
Fantastic.
That's your defensive player of the year meeting the MVP in the backfield. That's Colin Thomas, big 31, laying the lumber.
Fantastic job making an open field tackle there. And Kendall's hard to do in the open tackle in the open field, so it was a good job by him. So, but and like I said, Joplin again, and then they just kind of had they kind of fell down on some hard times there for a little while, and then they've kind of regrouped now with this group they have, and are starting to put things together and have some success again. And I expect it to continue as long as number one's playing quarterback, as they call a timeout.
Yeah, we'll keep it here. I was going to say to that point, they've been around since 99, and you said that thing about it made me want to ask. They fell in some hard times, but they've regained their footing. I think some of semi-pro football, and I'd love your opinion on this, is just being able to survive a few years, and then when your time it's your time, you're able to ascend into that position. Because I know being around this scene, when they were in the 4SFL, they were maybe not the best team, maybe not the second best team, third or fourth best team, but they were still in the league.
Correct. Yeah, their sustainability has been. Teams at this level aren't around like they've been around. Usually, egos get in the way. Somebody gets mad at me and you own the team, and I get mad at you, and so
you're gonna make your own.
Yeah, and or whatever. So it's always some crazy things happen that destroys a team, and they've done a great job. It's because they've had two owners essentially. They had Charlie Hudson, who started and owned it all the way up until Sam took over, and now Sam's had it, who had played for many of those years before he took over as an owner. So he kind of already knew what it was all about. So he just kind of
kept the ship going.
Yeah.
Kept a good thing rolling.
And it's impressive because there will be years they're not very good, and they continue to show up and play, it's remarkable in my opinion. Just the sustainability, because like I said, it doesn't happen a whole lot.
Well, Kendall going to survey the field. 30 seconds to go in the quarter. That one will fall incomplete. Intended to Tyrone Johnson. It should be fourth down. PA person's making the wrong announcement. It'll be fourth down.
It's fourth down, yeah.
Fourth down as the Cyclone offense is coming out onto the field. I don't quite think they know that there's still one more down to play. The PA guy was going rogue.
Yeah. It actually looks like Joplin's lining up to punt.
Wow, take a picture.
Yeah, right? I guess when you're on the 6, that's too close.
Yeah. That's the range. We found the limit.
Yeah.
It'd be very interesting because, they don't do this very often. We've talked about how special teams is like the redheaded stepchild, the semi-pro. What if they snap this over the punter's head here? Give him 2 points and the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't know what's going on here. Nobody's set.
We got people everywhere.
Officials aren't set. I don't know what's going on. Neither do the officials. Neither do the players. Neither do the coaches. Neither do we.
Yeah, no, you don't either. Nobody knows what's going on. And here come the police.
That's right. Maybe they know.
I know, speaking of that, Tales of Semi-Pro, I'd love to get a book on that one day, but I've heard Dodson tell stories of coaches getting yanked at games over some actions.
I'm sure between me and Dodson, we could write quite the book. But to be fair, I've had a lot of great memories too.
Mm-hmm.
It's been way more positive than negative, or I wouldn't have done it for 24 years.
No doubt. Probably seen some very unique things. Put it that way.
But I have seen some things that I am fairly certain I will never see again. Luckily, in most of those situations.
So were you around for Nacho Gate?
Nacho Gate. I was not around for Nacho Gate. Not around for that.
Chris is looking at me. You'll have to ask off air what Nacho Gate was about. It's a very interesting story from his time with the. He was there for Toilet Gate. Oh yeah, Toilet Gate. Yeah, we won't talk about Toilet Gate.
I was around for Toilet Gate. I actually. Never mind. Yeah.
Don't incriminate yourself.
No, absolutely not. But yeah, Toilet Gate. I was aware of such a thing. But yeah, there's been a lot of them out there. I don't know. Some crazy things.
Certainly. But as we like to say, that is the beauty of semi-pro.
Absolutely.
Never know what sort of game you're going to get.
No. And right now, unfortunately, we're not getting a game at all.
No, it looks like they're starting to take roll here before too long.
We're just trying to line up the punt, and we apparently have to do a whole bunch of extra stuff just to punt.
Yes.
Well, because Joplin hasn't done
punted.
Tonight.
Yeah, everybody has to stop and make sure they're ready. I'll mention you can watch this broadcast and over 100 more on your smartphone or the big screen TV in the living room. Just search Southern Sports Network on any Android, iOS, Roku, or Amazon Fire Stick, and you don't miss any of the action. Also, want to mention, give Semi-Pro Saturday a follow on Facebook if you haven't already. If you made it this far and haven't, I don't know how you couldn't have. That's your one-stop shop for all things semi-pro. Chris Dodson does a weekly show there. Of course, we'll be coming to an end with the end of the CMFL season, but already start getting ready for 2025 as soon as 2024 ends. Is we have a convention taking place near our camera on the field. But one time I wish, Gary, that we had a mic on that thing. We could hear exactly what that conversation is and what's going on. As I hope that the White Hat doesn't think that I'm very confused, honestly, what's going on.
Here's the deal. Per league rule,
yes,
you can challenge a play, okay? Because it's NFL rules. Now,
what in the world?
Nobody's ever challenged anything.
Well, this would be the time to do it, I guess. It's the title game. You're not going to get your money's worth at this rate.
The problem is because you don't have equipment
to do it.
To do
yes.
So. So, yeah, they have, the benefit of Southern Sports Network being here, but that doesn't mean we can just queue up anything whenever we want or whenever they want.
Yeah, No, that was third down. This is fourth down now.
Was it really?
Yeah, you went rogue.
Both of us both said it. So
No, it was third down.
It looks like the conversation is
It's about the down.
Is the down? Yeah, whether it's
It was third down. That was what the stick said.
And-
so it was going to be it's a fourth down play on the field.
and based off the series of plays that I remember, it will be third. It will be fourth.
It'd be fourth down, yeah, because it was first down. They got a penalty, so they replayed first down, sack, incomplete, fourth down.
Correct.
We know what we're doing.
Absolutely.
Well, while we have a minute, you have any war stories you want to share? None that we can talk on air about?
Yeah. No. Not that I can think of off the top of my head that I could talk on air about and feel comfortable about saying. No, but here's you mentioned it earlier about how it seems like in every game there's this spot where the action just stops for some reason, and it does. And I mean, like right here is another example of it.
And I mean, we've dropped anchor at this point.
You have the officials just not knowing what down it's on. I mean, here's the deal. I have never officiated a game in my life, but I've been around football a good amount, and I kind of know some of their mechanics, and so I don't understand how none of them know what down it is.
Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty basic one.
Right. They have on their little hand, their little rubber band that they move for down, and unless they're just not doing it, and they're just saying, hey, we're just whatever the stick says we're going with, or whatever the PA guy says we're going with. But I don't know. We finally got some action. We got a punt in the air, which is shocking coming from Joplin.
Yeah.
And, hey, it actually looked like a decent punt. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know why they don't do it more often.
Yeah. Well, it'll be plus field position for the Cyclones after all of that, with 14 and about a half seconds left to go in the third quarter. Cyclones in desperate need of some points just to maintain any semblance of touching distance tonight.
Yeah, it's a 3-possession game right now for the Cyclones, so they're going to have to score quickly. And again, that's not their main thing. They've shown that they could do it earlier tonight, but they've done it once, so it's not like they've done it several times. So maybe that was more of the exception.
They've shown flashes,
rule.
yeah. They certainly have, but they haven't sustained it.
And to be fair, they did hit the deep ball in the last series.
It was a good throw.
Yeah,
tight spiral.
And so it looks like number 3's back at quarterback. They liked what he did last time out, so they're staying with him, which would tell me they're probably throwing the ball a little bit.
They do on first down. Oh, that's interesting as well. I think that's getting to that high school thing. He wasn't quite down by contact yet, but his knee was down, so they call it dead, and that should be the.
Well, I don't.
They stopped the clock. Why did they stop the clock? He didn't go out of bounds.
Yeah, I don't know why he stopped the clock, and he wants more time on the clock. I don't know why. It was in play.
He was down in play.
It should have just been winding.
Joplin's asking for the clock to run, and I'd agree with him. Now we have 70 seconds on the clock. Oh, boy.
Now he wants to run it.
Oh, boy. You know how they talk about in coaching circles after a really bad game, you're just going to burn the film? I feel like the referees would probably like us to do that after this one.
Yeah, definitely not one of their finer moments in football.
Now it's 7 minutes.
Yeah,
there it is. They got the 7 in the right decimal point.
I think they just ran it out, though, I think is what they wanted to do, and go to quarter, because he realized the clock should have just been running.
Well, we're going to do that too. Our score after 3, 28-10. The Crusaders 15 minutes away from title number 13, win 300. We'll bring you the final 15 of the 2024 season when we return.
Semipro Saturday is brought to you in part by 950 Ways Graphics, professional graphics for players, coaches, and teams. Trust the pros at 950 Ways Graphics and look them up on Facebook at 950 Ways Graphics.
Well, welcome back to Independence, Missouri, right outside KC Mo at Truman High School, hosts of this year's 2024 CMFL championship game. Joplin looking to close it out. Final 15 minutes of the season. They're up 28-10. Find themselves on the defensive side of the football as Gary, they punted for the first time tonight and probably first time in multiple games. Cyclones have been moving the ball a little bit so far.
Yeah, they made the change at quarterback. As we got a bad snap there on some, looks like timing was off on the cadence maybe or something, but
something didn't look right.
Yeah. Looks like he just got the ball back though, didn't gain or really lose anything.
And Patterson technically should come out of the game. He lost his helmet, but frankly, I don't imagine the officials would know that rule at this point.
Yeah, I'm thinking they want to try to call as many or not call many more flags as they've continued to mess things up. But who knows?
Who knows?
I definitely do not know. If you're looking for a pro official, you're not looking at the right guy in me. And I understand it. I know why we have problems with them. I understand it. The old guys are retiring, and then the younger guys that do get moved up really fast because they don't have enough.
Yep.
And so they're inexperienced and they're making bad calls because they're inexperienced because they didn't spend the years of 2 years at junior high and then 2 years calling JV or whatever before they actually get their first varsity. There's a kid that graduated high school in 2021 and was officiating high school games in Oklahoma in 2022.
Woo!
So that tells you
all you need to know.
Yeah. And I love the kid, and he's officiated a couple of games and he does okay, but he's also just a 19-year-old kid.
Yeah.
20-year-old kid,
He hasn't got a fully formed frontal cortex yet.
Yeah, he didn't know his
his
way around a grocery store yet, let alone, to officiate a football game, but he does.
Oh, wow. Nice couple of moves there for the Cyclones. That's Dominique Atkins. He's had a couple of catches tonight. Let me take another look at it.
Yeah, it's a good job. Good job. It looks like some stuff just kind of broke down, and that was his check down valve, and he did
worked
a good
out.
job. Yeah.
Poor tackling leads to a couple extra yards after the catch.
Yeah. Looks like 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5, somewhere right around there.
While they're huddling up, this venue has been phenomenal. I don't know necessarily what the plans are for the 2025 season for the CMFL, and semi-pro, a lot can change between the end of one season and the start of the next. But if there's a rotation or a permanent home, Truman High School would love to be back.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I really, really like it.
And the lights have gone out.
As the power goes out, right on cue. That is ironic.
We
literally just jinxed it. I say the power goes out because the power's not out.
No, it
is the lights because we're still on power. We're still on air, yet we have no lights. So we'll probably take a break here.
Yeah, I think we should probably take a break.
We'll be back maybe when the lights come back. I don't know.
Hopefully we'll be back.
Yeah.
Beauty of Semi-Pro, everybody. Get comfortable.
Since 1941, the Dickey's family has been smoking the very best quality meats, low and slow, for 14 hours every day. It's how Mr. Dickey did it, and it's how we still do it in every Dickey's restaurant across America. Lunchtime, dinner time, anytime. Eat in, pick up, or heck, we'll even deliver to you. There is no shortcut to what we do. Come in and see us or visit Dickeys.com. Legit Texas barbecue.
We are a community of athletes that celebrate success and development while having fun and being safe.
We do a pretty rigorous testing to all of our athletes to track progress as we go.
Our athletes are 10% faster, 179% stronger. They jump 4 inches higher on average. They're 8% more agile and 9% quicker.
You can come in, get extremely high quality training, accelerate your athletic abilities.
Head on over to prodaysports.com.
Come try, see if you enjoy it. For $1, it's worth it.
A tradition of educational excellence, more than a century in the making, continues in Broken Arrow. Here, supportive faculty, in-demand undergraduate and graduate degrees, and affordable tuition make Northeastern State University your transfer destination. Finish what you started.
Located in downtown Prairie Grove, Prairie Grove Auto and Farm Supply has been serving the community since 1983. They carry a large selection of inventory to keep your automobiles and farm equipment running smoothly year after year. As a local, family-owned auto parts store, they are thankful to this community for 40 great years and look forward to serving you for 40 more. Go Tigers!
My story isn't that different from a lot of people that grew up in a small town. My dream was always to play baseball, but as a kid, it's hard to prove yourself when you're so far away from the big leagues. When no one else thought I was good enough, our community did. From family to friends, coaches, and local businesses, my community built me into the player that I am today. And I'm just getting started.
When you have the support of a community, anything is possible.
First Community Bank, where community comes first.
Welcome back, and as you can see, we have lights. Let there be lights in Independence, Missouri. Somebody, I think, must have sat on a light switch or something and kicked them off. We got them back on. I know Chris will know this, Dodson down there. When we did a game once in Green Forest, Arkansas, there's a company that the school has to call to turn their lights off in, like, Milwaukee or something. I wonder, maybe something similar. Somebody got on the horn to somebody and had to get the lights kicked back on. But we got lights. It is ironic that it is literally as soon as we were talking about how great a venue it was, they just kick right off.
Yeah.
So that's the last comment we'll make about how nice the facility is, because we sure don't want to mess with anything.
Yeah, no, not at all.
I'm going to step it right into this.
This is Chris Dodson.
What has gone wrong has gone wrong, because anything that could go wrong has gone wrong today. And we're here still.
Yeah.
On the
and this wasn't even supposed to be the original location.
No, it was a last week change. So, welcome to the beauty of Semipro.
This is the beauty of Semipro made real.
And here we are, stopped, not knowing what's going on again on the field, where the ball's spotted at. They're moving the sticks.
I don't know why they moved the sticks to begin with. It should have just dropped them where they were at.
Yeah, now they've moved. Now we got a first down and 10.
Oh, my gosh.
So,
all right.
Here we go.
We'll re-rack.
Back to the game we go. Yeah. Luckily, these are the new LED lights, though.
Yeah, so they kick on.
Yeah, they turn right on. They don't warm up. If they're the old bulb kind,
we'd be here a minute.
Yeah, it'd be 45 minutes for them to warm back up. But they're right back on, and we're back after it, seeing if the Cyclones can get some points on the board to salvage some of their night.
Deep ball towards the end zone. And incomplete. Great effort. That time, I believe that was going to be Chris Bradley trying to lay out there on that far side. I know you had mentioned every team has a challenge technically per rule, but I think he was probably out of bounds. Great effort, though.
Yeah, you know, that's that's been something that's always talked about in this league because they play it by NFL rules, that you have the challenge, yada, 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 yada. But here's the deal. Nobody has the technology at their disposal quite like the NFL to just pull up the replay instantaneous from multiple angles. So it's always kind of been a laughing stock to me. Some people think it's
Very
awesome,
serious?
but I'm like, yeah.
It's never going to get used.
No. It can't. Even if they had a replay of one angle, it doesn't mean that it's going to
be conclusive.
Correct. So,
yeah,
but whatever.
Whatever indeed.
Another one of those whatever NFL rules that we have for no reason in a league like this.
Well, 2nd down and 10. Cyclones pass deflected, nearly intercepted, but harmlessly to the turf. It'll be 3rd and 10 as we have a couple of bats fly over the football stadium here in Independence. That's something different.
Well,
why not? It makes sense tonight. Is there a full moon or something that we don't know about?
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know. Truman has turned to be a odd place. Fantastic venue, fantastic facility,
yes.
But just some odd things have taken place.
Do you know why it's called Truman High School? I've been sitting on this trivia question all night. This is the time I'm going to burn it.
I would assume I know, but I'm going to act like I don't. No.
So Independence, Missouri is the childhood home of President Harry S. Truman.
Okay.
That's the reason why.
Now, I assumed that's who it was named after, but just didn't know why. But interesting.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's my trivia question for the night.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, we got 4th down here after a.
Are we sure it's 4th down?
No.
Just based on how the last 10 minutes have gone.
We got a 4th down and 9 to go here. We'll see if we can't dial something up. Looks like we're having a hard time getting a play into the quarterback.
I do like how the quarterback now for the Cyclones, Patterson, is wearing a tinted visor at night.
Yes. His cool factor is definitely
off
high.
the charts.
Yes. I mean, if you're a big dude and you're going to get away and actually get to play quarterback, I mean, you might as well go all out.
Reminds me of Gabe Sequici for the NWA Generals. That's a pop and a half. And a turnover on downs
short.
as well.
Looks like he's going to be short, unfortunately. He took a beating and he's short. That's terrible. Good effort. You have great effort right there to get out of that tackle.
And then bang.
Yeah, man.
What?
Wow.
What?
Yeah, okay.
All right.
I don't think we kind of get some overplay of the PA announcer here.
Yeah.
And so sometimes
I wonder if he's watching the same game we're watching.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, we get
we hear the speakers here, and they're
getting different information than we are, so we're trying to figure out. Then we have to go on detective mode to figure out if we're missing something, and luckily we have not. We've been right. So here we go. Joplin taking over,
looking to extend their lead
deep in their own territory. We'll see what happens. Who knows?
Anything really with Kendall Holmes at quarterback.
Yeah, I mean,
could be good, could be bad. Nobody really knows except for Kendall.
Yeah.
Cyclones don't have enough people on the field. Cyclones going to take a timeout. Cyclone coach is mad at the officials. We're just going to take a break. 28-10 your score, 11:34 to go in the ball game, and I suppose you can't get here fast enough.
I can feel the warmth deep down in my bones.
welcome back out of the timeout, the last of the game for the Cyclones. We'll see. Might have, the state of Missouri is known for the fifth down play. We'll see if the Cyclones get a fourth timeout in the second half, as one of the coaches, I believe, for the Clones is talking it over with the officials, as you see there, directing traffic. Not much more you can really add to that.
Yeah, I don't. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what's going on.
I'm right there with you,
from
Gary.
the officiating standpoint of tonight's. It's sad.
And this I think is this is the stuff that gives Semipro the connotation that it does to the community.
Yeah, like I said, it's unfortunate that this is the championship of a great league. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a good league. I mean,
Spans multiple states. It's
the competition in it is tough. I think this year competition has been really well top to bottom.
Yeah.
And this is what the product is, and at no fault of the players or the teams really.
No.
Holy cow!
Turn on the afterburners and turn out the lights. This one's going to be over. Touchdown, Crusaders.
Charles West.
As that one should pretty much do it at this rate, based on what the Cyclones have been able to do.
He hit that edge and got vertical in a hurry, and
I said, look at the back of my jersey.
Man, oh man.
Well, Cyclone fans want a flag. I don't think they're going to get one. Sam Sturgis has walked out to the numbers. Been a quiet night for Sam.
It has. Things have kind of went his way.
Yeah.
But my thing is, like I said, it's just that these officials
and that's I was going to say
have really kind of tainted the product.
Yeah.
It's honestly, and it's been a good game. There's been some great plays made by some great athletes and those types of things, but it's all been kind of tainted and overshadowed by.
Sure thing. And I was going to say, not to interrupt, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but Sam, you mentioned this earlier in the game as a coach, like having that maturity or that experience to know when to pick your battles with officials and things like that. I think Sam knows that. He has that experience. He has that wisdom of being the head coach of a team like this. As careful there, coach. I don't know which one that is. Don't want to roll an ankle trying to go for a chest bump. But the score now 36-10, 26-point advantage. We'll take a quick break. 11:20 to go from Independence.
Semipro Saturday is brought to you in part by 950 Ways Graphics. Professional graphics for players, coaches, and teams. Trust the pros at 950 Ways Graphics and look them up on Facebook at 950 Ways Graphics.
Well, welcome back. After the beautiful rushing touchdown, the Joplin Crusaders, they will kick off to the Cyclones. Steve Blackston, Coach Gary Joyce with you as we have 11:20 to go. And I think, Gary, it's fair to say you could probably start chiseling the Joplin Crusaders' name on the title trophy this year.
Yeah. I think that touchdown there kind of the straw that broke the camel's back, if you will. The Cyclones' body language when they were coming off the field after that, you had guys throwing helmets, you had guys yelling and screaming, and I understand frustration. I get it, but that's, they're the guys out on the field. They had part in that happening, so I don't know what they're mad at other than themselves. And if they're mad at themselves, I don't know why they're yelling at somebody else. So I don't know. And Joplin's fired up, and they're feeling it. So it may get a little
ugly.
Yeah. And here's the thing: when games get like this, and teams get frustrated like the Cyclones are, with the already heated rivalry, if you will, between these two, it may get ugly. I hope not. I really, really do. But that's when things like this often happen. So,
and then to that point, when that sort of stuff does happen, that's how you lose fields. That's how you're not invited back to hold towns, and
and that's how we were talking earlier. That's how you keep younger kids from coming out,
Yep.
right? I mean, that's how you keep everything from.
It snowballs.
Right.
You have to be the example.
The game, talent-wise, from when I got involved in it to now, is night and day difference. The kids that play today are a million times more talented than the people that played when I started playing and or coaching at this level. Okay, back then we just weren't very good. There was nobody out there that could run like these guys run. There was nobody out there close to Kendall Holmes that played. Okay, nobody at any league around. And now there are. I know he's the league MVP, but I would say there are athletes out there. Danny Knightons. There are
Mr. Do It All.
Yeah. We got another flag.
Of course.
It looks like an ejection. Possibly,
Whitehat's going to have to ice his elbow after tonight.
But here's the deal, though, and this has been my frustration with the game, which is why I decided to step away after last year. The game product is way high, way better. But the game has not got to where it needs to be because those same players that are really talented do a lot of dumb stuff and can't get out of their own way. Like this right here, right? Like doing something to get ejected, and is now causing everything to come to a standstill, and the coaches to come out and talk to the officials about what he said and did and all that stuff. It's just a bad look, right? Like, this isn't.
It's more semi than pro.
Yeah, if you're a 25-year-old thinking about coming to play and you come out here and sit down and watch this, you're not thinking, oh, this is something I want to do.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Like, you don't even see this at the INFC level, for instance, back in, like, Tulsa,
No.
And those are kids who wouldn't necessarily know any better.
Right. And then if you want to compare it to the professional indoor levels, right, if you go watch the Tulsa Oilers play, which is the closest to us, and they're in the IFL, or even if you go watch teams that play in the other leagues, like the AFL making the comeback, or the NAL, anyway, any of those national indoor professional leagues, you see nothing like this. Nothing like this. You may see a skirmish break out, or somebody may cuss somebody, something crazy like that, but you're not going to have this. And yet these guys all think that they should be playing at those levels, and they're not because of this, because of things like this that causes them from getting there.
It's certainly, I just go back to this year. I feel like when Chris started Semipro Saturday, got all the interviews of all the coaches and the owners, and the commissioner Jimmy was involved as well. I have another whistle. I feel like there's a lot of positive momentum at the beginning of this year. It felt like it might be a little bit different, but yet, we finished the race here in Independence, and it kind of feels like ending on such a down moment.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because the game itself has not been bad.
No.
The Cyclones, I know they're down 36-10, but they've had some moments tonight where they played
really
phenomenal
good
football on both sides of the ball. And Joplin has done some things on both sides of the ball that have been phenomenal. But they get overshadowed by things like officials who often act like all these people here are here to see them, when really it's the complete opposite. The best officials I've ever had are the most forgettable officials
Yes.
I've ever had. If I can leave a game and not tell you about an official,
if you
that's
can't
a
remember
good
their
official.
name. Yeah.
Especially at this level, these guys are out here because they want to play.
Mhm.
Let them play.
Yeah.
Okay, now if it's something big and dumb and
Obvious.
yeah, call it. But if it's not, just let them play.
Mhm.
Let them play.
Ball deflected, incomplete. As the clock will stop at 10:20 to go in the ball game. As Cyclones staring down a 3rd and 25 from the shadows of their own goalposts.
Well, the good news for Joplin in this situation is they're able to get some of their kids, the younger guys that maybe hadn't played a whole lot this year, an opportunity to get out and get some playing time in a championship game environment and situation, which is always good. That comes in handy down the line because who knows, maybe one of these kids are going to have to be the guy next year because somebody retires or goes and plays somewhere else or something, So they could be important minutes for some of these guys playing.
I was going to say the free agency market in semi-pro it's something to be held.
It is a doozy, to say the least. It is not for the faint of heart, but it's got to take place.
Certainly does. I have these lists of reads I've been sharing with the viewers tonight of the Victory Bowl or social media, high school football we have coming up. The last one I have, and I'm going to say this with a bit of a smirk, Gary. Fans, while the season comes to a close, we want to get you ready for an electrifying 2025 season of the CMFL. The competition will be fiercer, the teams are stronger, and the action is set to be more intense than ever before. Stay tuned for the kickoff and catch all the thrilling moments right here on the Southern Sports Network. The CMFL 2025 season coming soon. Don't miss it. And you can see why I say that with a little bit of a smirk.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to watch this and be excited about it, but it will be good.
Yes, it will. And it'll be long. It'll be long enough from now that I think people, they'll forget how this ends. In a lot of ways, I feel like they shouldn't forget how this ends because of, I think, the learning opportunity, the growth opportunity out of this.
Hopefully, the guys that don't forget are the owners of these teams. So when they go to the league commissioner, they can discuss things like this about these are the things they got to clean up, as a league. The players, they'll forget it. That was a fantastic punt, and he got roughed. There is a penalty back there, so I don't know if it's enough for a first down or not.
It depends also. It's running into or roughing the kicker.
Yeah.
One of those is an automatic. So
Correct.
I will say, there have been a lot of bright spots throughout the night for the Cyclones, but
it must be running into because the punter is losing his mind now with his helmet off. And
I was going to say Hatch, the punter and kicker specialist for the Cyclones, has been a bright spot for them tonight.
They must have picked up the flag as they walked by because it's now not out there.
What a doozy.
Decided to wave it off, so.
That's the one they decided to wave off, I guess.
Yeah, so I apologize, no flag. But I do think the league will be better next year. I do know that there are some conversations taking place of some potential, different people running the league from the top, potentially. And that's not knocking anybody that's doing it now, but I think it would be fantastic if a lot of those things come to play that we've talked about.
Get some real, there's some potential out there. Like you said, from the rumors you hear things of some really qualified and experienced leadership.
Yeah, and I think it'd be great for everybody involved, including Jimmy, the guy who owns the league.
Yeah,
I think it'd be great for him to be able to step back, for a couple of years and take some help,
just worry about your team. Instead of having to worry about your team and the league and all the drama that goes on week to week and all that jazz.
Again, I've been a guy who owned and ran a league and ran and owned a team, and I'm telling you now, it's on the verge of being impossible to do correctly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what you say. There's a bias. There always will be a bias. You have something
you're
involved
human.
in it,
Yeah.
right? I mean, and you have your money.
Mm-hmm.
Your money's dumped in your team. It's not dumped in
the league now.
So you're going to protect your money. That's what people do. So to have somebody in running the league that is not affiliated with a team would be wonderful. Like anytime that happens, it's wonderful. I've been fortunate enough to be in some leagues that were that way, and they've been the best leagues I've been involved with.
We have an injured Cyclone, and that's one you don't want to see.
Looks like the officials are walking off the field here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it looks like our white hat is leaving the field, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. Wow. This is I haven't seen as many semi-pro games as you or Chris has, but this is unprecedented to me. I've never, especially in this moment, just seen him walk off the field.
Yeah, he looks like he's done. Now, I don't know if the rest of the crew
are going to follow.
Obviously
Jimmy's down there, I believe, talking to the white hat, the commissioner. Oh, and a trophy is coming down as well. I see there's a guy in a bucket hat bringing a trophy. So I get the feeling this could be
wrapped up here,
reaching critical mass. We're going to play on the field, I think, without a white hat.
We don't have a white. I don't know that they realize that he's walked off.
Which, seems on brand for the evening. Yeah, this is a real tough moment for.
He's waving them off. I don't know if these officials. Some of them look like they're in conflict on what to do. They really don't know if they want to leave or not. But I think due to this unison effect, they're going to all walk off the field. And I think that's going to end the game
tough.
right there. I don't know particularly why that's all came down the way it has. I know there's obviously been some personal fouls, and we talked about it, right? We talked about it before the game.
Mm-hmm.
The game's going to be chippy. They both don't like each other. It's a championship game. There's a lot on the line, blah, blah, blah. So, we shouldn't be surprised that there's penalties and that the officials are having to work to control it. But to walk off and to end the game with 8 minutes and 30 seconds, a championship game is
a little ridiculous.
Is not good.
No.
Yeah. And so I think we're done.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Man, it's been fun.
Yeah, it's
been
been fun,
pleasure.
Gary.
It is what it is. Congratulations, Joplin. No asterisk next to them. They earned it. 36-10. Kendall Holmes MVP showed why.
Yeah. So your final score, like you said, 36-10. Your Joplin Crusaders go back-to-back with a victory over the Missouri Cyclones, win 300 in their elusive history, and championship number 13. We will wrap up here from Independence, Missouri. I want to thank everybody with the Southern Sports Network and our crew. We'll be back in action this fall for high school football and volleyball with Prairie Grove at the Prairie Grove Tigers, as well as football with the Catoosa Indians in the Sooner State. For Gary Joyce, I'm Stephen Blackson. Have a safe and sound night, and we'll see you later for some high school football action.